You'll never win with nonviolence alone, in all caps. You absolutely need militants to win. I'm sorry the world is so cruel, but this is the real world, not a fairy tale. We have with us a collection of the greatest legal minds on the interwebs. Longtime friend of the stream, potentially criminal Sean, defense attorney extraordinaire, new friend of this channel, and another legal mind on YouTube, average female debater. What's going on, AVG?
Hey, Ryan, thanks so much for having me. So I'm average female debater. I do a lot of social issues debates on mostly YouTube, but I also sometimes do them on TikTok.
We're calling the council. For those of you who have not been following this story, on the last episode of Law and Order, Rob was incensed that they weren't arresting everybody who was impeding federal officers outside of ICE facilities and engaged in other, I think, fairly obvious felonies with various ICE officials. And what I said to him is, if I was in the DOJ, I wouldn't be scooping up one guy and doing a charge of obstruction. Or what he wanted is scoop up everyone and file comically weak charges that you're going to lose, because unless you were the one who was physically obstructing if you're just standing there, it's very unlikely you're going to get a conviction. What I was looking for was a DOJ effort to investigate the organizers who were providing support and running, the signal chats and running the license plates and providing logistics and cars and drivers. Where did they get all those riot shields? Where did the barriers that they built outside of the ICE facility come from? How was this all being done? And investigate that and bring some kind of RICO conspiracy type indictment, which finally happened. So this is the indictment we're looking at. It's a Minnesota indictment, and it's alleging essentially a conspiracy to, not quite insurrection, but yeah. Exactly. So I don't know what before we dive into the specifics, what are your views on the kind of the ICE protests in general, the organization, and any potential criminality there?
So I think what ICE is doing is perfectly fine. We all know why they went into Minnesota. They went there because there was a high Somali population. Trump's efforts to crack down on illegal immigration were a key component of his campaign, right? So it was hardly any surprise when they showed up in these places. Now, unfortunately, with a countrywide effort like that, there's going to be different reactions, particularly in a blue state, is what I understand. Minnesota is, you can anticipate that there might be some kind of hostility towards the ICE agents. And that's exactly what we saw. There's been some, Democratic push for this narrative that Trump's a fascist and that they're trying to crush any dissent. And how can they say that Antifa is a thing? It's not even, an official organization. How can it be a domestic terrorist organization? Well, that's the entire point of Antifa. This is why they organize in that fashion, right? It makes it difficult to attribute liability.
I think that's 100% right. Sean, what AVG was saying is, in her mind, the whole structure of Antifa, like the kind of disorganized, it's an idea, not an organization, is almost designed to make it hard to bring criminal charges.
Well, it is. It's a revolutionary insurgency. That's how they operate. Like there's books back here. Like, if you want to run an insurgency, this is how you do it. Like, it's all about running it. They also have the ability of institutional inertia. They have all these organizations throwing money and effort and power around, so they can operate in a very loose-knit structure. It also helps that they aren't just inundated with feds all the time like the right is.
So I guess the question for us with our collective legal acumen is going to be, we're going to read the indictment, and obviously they have to prove this stuff up. But based on the facts that they've asserted, does this seem, Clyde, be a good boy, Clyde. Does this seem like they're going to be able to get these charges to stick? Or is this going to be, let's be candid, yet another Trump DOJ indictment that kind of falls flat because it was poorly thought through, poorly executed, that sort of thing? It looked like it had some meat on the bone when I skimmed it. So we'll take a look at it and see what we think. But
well, I mean, I will say so far, Don Lemon and the gang are getting smacked around pretty hard in their case. So I think the courts are starting to realize like there is something there.
Yeah, and I think there's also a bit of you know, when they bring charges really, really quickly, that's not always a good sign. Like a good investigation takes some time. The fact that they actually took their time with this one makes me think that they were doing a better job. Now it is, I will point out for the audience, first things first, it's a District of Minnesota case. So to get a conviction, you're going to have to convict in front of a Minnesota jury, which may not be the easiest thing in the world. So for those of you looking down the road, temper your enthusiasm. That might be...
because remember, chat, the state of Minnesota, its Democrat Party is called the Democrat Farm and Labor Party, with those two iconic devices, the hammer and the sickle.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sean. That seems coincidental.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is the unsealed, it used to be sealed, indictment. We have a bunch of people: Sant, Doyle, Kennedy, Robinette, Davis, Aplon, Wagner, a bunch of people. I'm sure we'll learn their names in a little bit. And I don't know about you guys. The way that I like to read these, I like to read the charges first because, and normally for those of you who haven't read a lot of criminal indictments, it'll have multiple counts. The first count's going to have basically all the facts. And then afterwards, they're just going to have a bunch of other counts and say, see above, or just implied see above. So it's not, I just like to know what I'm looking at first and what I'm trying to learn before I read like a lengthy factual recitation. So count one, which is against everybody, is a conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer in violation of 18 U.S.C. 372. And like the good streamer I was, I actually prepped this one. So this is if two or more persons in any state, territory, possession, or district conspire to prevent by force, intimidation, or threat any person from accepting or holding any office, trust, or place of confidence under the United States or from discharging any duties thereof. And I'm going to guess this is most likely going to be about a conspiracy to forcibly prevent the discharging of federal duties. And generally, I have not researched this statute. Maybe you guys have, but generally speaking, the forcibly component is pretty mild. Like if you physically stood in an officer's way, that normally satisfies forcibly. It just means any quantum of force. So this is kind of a general conspiracy to impede federal officers type charge.
Makes sense to me.
All right. So that's our count one.
Yeah, it doesn't take much for this to qualify.
No. And it's hard for me to imagine they couldn't get this one to stick on somebody. Like, because like if you imagine that you were like, if you were running license plates and jotting down license plates and providing logistical support and fundraising and crowdsourcing and organizing people, how are you not conspiring to prevent ICE from discharging their duties at a certain point? It seems unlikely.
Didn't
Wagner they call
have
themselves the good guy squad? That's why. I think they're the good guys. They're the hacking good guys, chat.
I hadn't thought of that.
Didn't Wagner have that video that they also showed on the news where he's basically saying, take up your arms, go there, stop these people, right? They're fascists, get them.
Well, exactly.
It's
right?
pretty direct.
If you say, go stop the fascists, and then you show up and forcibly interfere with an ICE operation, how is that not conspiring to do it? It seems pretty open and shut to me, but we'll see. Let me flip forward and we can find the other charges because I think they're way down here. Look at that, by the way, chat. We're at paragraph 220, and they're still describing the facts that they currently have. You have to assume, by the way, that whenever they give very specific facts like this, that they can prove it up. They don't typically list a very specific fact, quote, with date, time.
This is all just a lot to show these guys can get thrown out of a helicopter at this point. So. Oh no, I'm not joking, KPG. These communists need to be dealt with. There's only one way to deal with these communist scum. And the funny thing is, when you tweet their name, they fucking run away and cry. So it's very funny. Yeah. That's easy enough. Like, Ryan, that's how we can defeat them. If the FBI just put their names out there, they all run away.
Well, we'll see. These guys' names are sure out there now.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we got 18 U.S.C. 373, solicitation to commit a crime of violence. And this is against just Wagner. So we should watch out for Wagner when we read the facts. whoever with intent that another person engage in conduct constituting a felony that has an element of the use, attempted use, or threatened use of physical force against a person, property in violation of the United States laws of the United States. Okay, so it is pretty much what it sounds like, soliciting specifically a crime of violence. Now, I have to imagine there's probably a lot of language out there about like, we got to kill these fascists, or we got to, I'm sure that they're attributing some language to him that is going to reach that level. I mean, I haven't looked at the details, but that seems, again, pretty plausible.
I have not read all the way through this yet, but I'm surprised that they have not tied in the deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy to this, because they were part of these fuck around groups. And they were clearly part of them.
Like almost like a felony murder theory?
Yeah. Usually if somebody gets killed in the commission of these, you're going to have a bad day.
Well, it's going to be interesting because from what little I know, and this is mainly from reading the DOJ's press release, but they were saying that they were looking at this group called the Direct Action Minnesota Group, or DAM. Nice acronym.
Which... when you have a name like Direct Action, that's like naming yourself the right-wing death squad. It's obviously you're talking about, you're about it. So it's really hard to say, oh, we're just protesting.
Yeah. So I guess the question is like, what was this particular group involved in, right? Like which protests of which facilities, which operations at which time? Like, I don't know. This is not an indictment of like Antifa writ large. It's an indictment of a specific group in Minnesota that I think would identify as like an Antifa organization, but it's not like this isn't going to cover everything that one might attribute to Antifa, however defined. Okay, so interstate threats. I mean, so this is Kyle Wagner again. All right, so we got to watch out for what this guy Wagner's saying. Or
another doing. Kyle that's crossing state lines, chat. How is he getting away with this?
Don't name your kid Kyle. They can't keep getting away with it. Now, this is a weird one. Interstate stalking. I'm not.
I bet he was following people home.
Yeah, that was them killing ICE officers. Yeah, they were killing ICE officers. They were setting up blockades on their routes that they knew that they were following. They were stalking them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is 2261 Cap A 1B. So 2261.
Which
Cap A. Sorry, I totally lost it. 1B. So if you are travel in interstate commerce or is present within the special maritime or enters or leaves Indian County. So you have to travel in interstate commerce. Interstate. You have to travel interstate. So I'm guessing that this is probably like an out-of-stater who is coming into Minnesota to do this because they probably charge more people.
Or the ICE agents from out of state, probably. I mean, that could easily be it too.
I don't know. That's interesting. Does the ICE agent qualify?
I mean, he might.
Okay, so then with the intent to kill, injure, harass, intimidate, or place under surveillance with the intent to kill, injure, harass, or intimidate. Okay, a person who 1B causes, attempts to cause, or would be reasonably expected to cause substantial emotional distress. Oh, wow. Okay, so all they have to prove is that there's the interstate aspect, however they satisfy that.
I thought they were going to kill my family.
Yeah. Harassment or intimidation, which causes emotional distress. That seems plausible as well. It's interesting. It's only this one person, though, this Isaac Sant. So we should...
the next count shows it, too, though.
Okay, and William Morgan. Okay, so Sant and Morgan... I'm guessing these are the out-of-state guys, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe they just have like very obvious things. And then chat's familiar with this one. 18 USC 111. This is obstruction of a federal officer in the pursuit of their duties. So this is Morgan again. And Morgan got a destruction of government property count. And then assault on a federal officer is rackets. Okay. So we got assault, stalking, destruction of government property, threats, and the solicitation to commit a crime of violence, and then the broader conspiracy. All right, so we got a pretty good constellation of charges for these boys. I assume boys. I didn't see any female names in here.
Natasha Rakotes.
Is that Natasha Rackets? Let's see. Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You are right. I read that wrong. Good spot. Okay. So, I don't know, chat. If you want to get in your predictions, now's the time. Do we think we're going to think this is a good charge or not? I got to say, the length of the document gives me some optimism that they've got the goods on these people, because if you have 90 pages of facts, that's kind of a lot. All right, so I'll start reading through. You guys feel free to interrupt me and give color commentary wherever you think is a good moment. And chat, just so you guys know, the reason that I want to read through this on stream is in the coming days, you're going to hear a lot of people say this is ridiculous, this is a conspiracy, this is the Trump DOJ blowing smoke, and the only real way to assess that for yourself is to read the facts and see, do you think that those facts adequately, if true, have they adequately alleged that this conspiracy and that these crimes took place? We'll see. I'm optimistic, but it does seem like with this level, this amount of factual detail, it seems likely. But you should judge it for yourself. Okay. So now I've got to do the highlighting. Shit, Sean's getting off easy tonight. All right. So from in and around January 2026 to June 2026 in Minnesota and elsewhere, all of our little defendants that we just looked at did knowingly conspire. This is the conspiracy charge. And then they're going to explain to us how they did it. So they were members of the Twin Cities Direct Action, the TCDA, which later changed its name to Direct Action Minnesota, DAM, an organization dedicated and committed to direct action against federal law and immigration enforcement. Direct action refers to disruptive and obstructive tactics used by participants to forcibly, there's the force element, challenge, block, or stop immigration raids, detentions, and deportation. DAM describes itself as a decentralized coalition of working class people engaged in various forms of community defense against current federal occupation happening within the wider metro area and against state and far-right violence more broadly. DAM also trains its members in the use of shields against law enforcement, surveillance, event planning, role differentiation, and rapid mass mobilization against ICE enforcement actions. So this is kind of a summary, but any reactions so far?
Yeah, so I think it's very obviously
No, go ahead.
It's very obviously an organized group, right? This doesn't help to necessarily inhibit the conspiracy charges. In terms of who is directly associated with DAM, does anybody have that information yet out of the individuals who are indicted?
I'm assuming they know like a lot more people who are involved in this. If they were able to infiltrate it this badly, I bet they have a lot of the actual support and the other unindicted co-conspirators out there.
Yeah, it's really interesting. They're leading with the organization's mission statement, which implies to me that they can link people to the organization, and then they can link the organization to an overt act. Because in the conspiracy count, you need the agreement to join the criminal conspiracy, but then you need some overt acts taken in furtherance of the conspiracy. Now, there were tons of protests and riots outside of ICE buildings and facilities. So I'm sure that they're going to link this up to some specific action and see how that goes. Yeah. But God, this group's mission statement, their mission statement appears to be, we intend to conspire against the federal government. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Well, all right. So DAM is comprised of members from several subgroups, such as the Black Cat Workers Collective. What? That sounds like a name out of One Piece, like the Black Cat Pirates or something. And the Ray Rainbow Memorial Shooting Club and other organizations. Huh. Okay.
Bag for a reason, probably.
Ray Rainbow, some sort of probably communist loser who got smoked. So,
and that's why they have a shooting club in his honor.
He was some sort of commie who got schwacked somewhere, I bet.
Many self-proclaimed anti-fa. Can someone look that up? Who's Ray Rainbolt?
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now.
Now I'm curious.
Yeah.
Many self-proclaimed anti-fascist or Antifa groups in the United States exist at the local level in small groups called affinity groups. Antifa groups frequently blend anarchist and communist views. The Black Cat Workers Collective is a Minneapolis-based Antifa affinity group committed to militant class struggle, community self-defense, and revolution. Of fucking course they are. Of course they are. Militant class struggle includes disrupting rallies, digital campaigning. By the way, disrupting rallies, legal. Digital campaigning, legal. Community organizing, legal. And physical confrontation.
Community organizing can be legal. It's also the ground for building your insurgency too. So
true. And this is the point. Like, if it's just speech, if all we hear in this indictment is political speech, then it's not going to go very far. So I'm assuming that they're going to link these kind of more speechy events with physical confrontation, which can easily become a federal crime, often justified as collective self-defense. Black Kite Workers Collective members advocate, promote, and utilize militant tactics and violence. There we go. Black Cat Workers Collective members are intricately involved in the planning and execution of direct actions. The Ray Rainbolt Memorial Shooting Club is another Minneapolis-based Antifa affinity group dedicated to community self-defense. So it seems like the Black Cat Workers Collective is the real movers and shakers that they're focusing on, and the Ray Rainbolt group is going to be a little bit more of an afterthought.
You want the info on that?
Oh, yeah. Who is this guy?
He's a member of this Sioux Nation who played an active role in the 1934 strikes. The Union Defense Guard functioned as an anti-fascist patrol, kind of like the American Indian movement in 1968 to counter police brutality against indigenous people in Minneapolis.
Okay, so
relevant to the area.
The American Indian movement's a bunch of nutters who went to prison as well, in case chat's wondering.
And they started a shooting club. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not at all ominous.
No, that'd be like starting the Dylan Roof shooting club or something.
Yeah. Okay, so I like this is actually quite funny. Damn members. The damn members work closely with rapid response networks, RRNs, to identify and harass federal immigration and law enforcement officers I mean, that's not artfully written, but that's legally, I'm sure, operative, and prevent officers from performing their official duties. The rapid response networks are inherently militant, in quotes, I wonder what they're quoting, with the explicit aim of combating and stopping a federal agent with a gun. If that's a direct quote from their literature, that would not be a good fact for them.
Yeah.
DAM members utilize the Whipple Watch Signal group chat. Oh shit, did they get into the Signal chat? That would be very interesting if they did. Which facilitates...
It's not a surprise because there's a bunch of these Antifa chats that got infiltrated. I mean, they were handing these out like candy. So it doesn't take much to... Like, the problem is you can have really good ComSec, but eventually this thing got so big they were letting all kinds of people in. Like goobers like Will Stancil were running around as part of this. Like, these people, like the hardcore of these groups, practice OPSEC and practice ComSec. But eventually it falls apart and people will infiltrate your group the larger it gets. So that's just chat, if you're out there planning any insurgency activities for yourself, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's just that's not a legal pointer. That's a, if you want to start your own Serbian paramilitary group.
Yeah. See, my channel blends law and philosophy. Sean's channel blends law with military advice. So, it's everybody's got their own niche. So they got the Signal chat, and the databases include information like whether I missed a bit. The DAM members utilize the group chat, which facilitates the identification of federal immigration and law enforcement vehicles. I was wondering how they did this. We might learn how today. How were they running the plates? Identifying information such as license plate numbers and databases. The databases include information like whether a vehicle has been identified as belonging to a federal law enforcement, when it was last seen, how many times it was seen, the kinds of activities it was engaged in, if it was used in a caravan, and if someone saw federal agents with tactical gear inside, all to help determine how aggressive the response to that particular vehicle should be.
How aggressive?
That's wild.
not whether it should be aggressive.
Nice. Yeah.
No, there was a I covered this one night where somebody had gotten in, and no, it's a very organized situation, and it's very clear that they were receiving support. And this is kind of one of those, getting back to it, like when you're in an insurgency, if you can receive support from the local government, like I don't know if they had people at a DMV running plates or they had a cop running plates, but they were able to start developing a database of vehicles, and their surveillance was good. Yeah, they did this very, very well, but it's because they thought they weren't going to get caught.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously we're early in, and this is kind of like the summary paragraphs. But if they can prove and connect the dots that there were like members of this group that were collecting plates, that were surveilling vehicles, that were running the plates, and that were providing like op support for protesters and for people to like regulate how aggressive they should be with each vehicle, that seems like you're already at land. You already would land a conspiracy charge with just that.
Yeah. It's got the elements.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is chat. Just these are summary paragraphs. They're going to give us more specific facts later. DAM members often rely on information and intelligence produced by the Whipple Watch signal chat and other signal chats, group chats to target, harass, and confront federal immigration and law enforcement officers. Once someone relays information about federal immigration or law enforcement officers' location, dispatchers relay verified information to commuters who deploy to the identified area to interfere with, prevent, hinder, delay, impede, and directly confront federal immigration enforcement, including de-arresting people that federal law enforcement have arrested. Ooh.
Wow, breaking them out.
Yeah, if they could have facts for that, like if they're actually like freeing people who were arrested.
Well, I think that their plans were to do that, like let them out, and I mean, they weren't like, I think they knew better than to directly like bust out a van and get people out. But their job is like, if somebody yanks them, you yank them back and you fight to keep them out. But I'm sure they did try to intimidate those vans going around picking people up. But yeah, no, this is they were operating at a very high level because they had support of the local government. We saw in Illinois and in New Jersey what happened when the state police and local cops showed up and cracked down. Done. But they had popular support, and they were operating in a communist hotbed. It's not. This is what they do.
Well, this is pretty wild because this is, if they can prove all this is a pretty well-developed network. Like they're saying here that the commuters would work with co-pilots and dispatchers in real time.
Oh yeah, that's how it was. Yeah, no. So it'd work like you would be driving, I'd be running the radio and a cell phone, and we'd be like, your job was solely to follow them. That way we decreased accidents, and they had it so like you're passing a certain boundary line, somebody else picks it up. They had rotating tails, and that way like you had your area to patrol, and then other people patrolled other areas, and you handed stuff off. It was very well coordinated.
Yeah. So I mean, what I'm getting here is that if all this is true, they definitely had a coordinated network, and then all you would need to do to make that a conspiracy is connect it to some mission statement of obstructing law enforcement, which I think this organization expressly has. By the way, kids, if you're doing something illegal and you shouldn't be, don't do that. It's generally not a good idea to make it your mission statement, but that's another topic. And then link that to some overt act. But like in terms of the general conspiracy, this seems very conspiratorial to me.
Yeah, and does it really matter if they actually carried out the actus reus, like the final act, if they planned it, right? Isn't it under Pinkerton or something?
Yeah, you just have to have an overt act taken in furtherance of the conspiracy. So they don't have to actually have succeeded. They just have to have planned to do it and then like bought the shields or like rented the truck or done something to advance the goals of the conspiracy. Though in this case, I have to imagine they could allege more than that. Because, I mean, there were definitely people interfering with ICE. Okay, so DAM worked closely with other groups. Sorry, I lost my cursor. Antifa affinity groups, RRNs, and organizations for certain direct actions. DAM infiltrated and exploited lawful protests. So this is distinct from the lawful protests. This is a different thing. to more efficiently carry out its direct actions targeting operations involving ICE, as well as supporting federal and state law enforcement. DAM relied upon otherwise lawful protesters and strengthened numbers to distract law enforcement and enable DAM members to carry out its direct action operations. And this is, by the way, another reason why local law enforcement support is so crucial, because if the locals are, controlling traffic, controlling the mob, then bad actors like this don't have as much cover to instigate and commit federal crimes. Okay, so the purposes of the conspiracy were to prevent enforcement of federal immigration law by force and threats and intimidation, oppose the authority of the United States government, prevent, hinder, delay by force the execution of the laws, of immigration laws, and preventing, impeding, and interfering with federal law enforcement from discharging their duties. Okay, so that's the broad strokes of the conspiracy, and now I guess for the next 85 pages, it's going to give us the details that we can dwell in on some depth as we figure out what these guys were actually up to. I'm going to pause to wet my whistle if either of you guys have comments.
Yeah, it strikes me as amazing that there was actually government individuals that were helping a domestic terrorist organization and group of people. It's crazy to me that there would be support for this. Is it not of interest to keep illegal immigrants, particularly dangerous ones, out of the country? And is it just because people hate Trump? Is that why there was such a negative reaction towards his broad sweeping efforts to curb this issue? Or it baffles me.
Yeah, Sean, we lost you, buddy?
It's because everybody's oppressed to them, and it's an oppression hierarchy. So, no, it is to them, really. So these heckin' immigrinos, they're oppressed. They're trying to come here. The evil Drumpfler and the orange man and his little orange Cheeto dick and all the evil chuds are hurting all the heckin' immigrinos, and we'll be able to get our dildo-ridden workers' paradise, and I'll have our fucking workers' collectives like it's Bosch and Destiny and whoever the fuck else wants to think they are. We just got to try one more time, and we'll get it right. And they think it's going to work that way, and everybody's going to bro out with Ro Khanna, who just bought a $9.5 million house on a $170,000 a year, budget and salary. We're not going to talk about that. But Bernie Sanders and his, lake house up on Lake Champlain, we're all just going to bro out together. It's going to be great. No, they think this is all part of their struggle. It's revolutionary. These people are revolutionary communists. They have no problem putting you in a ditch, me in a ditch, Ryan in a ditch. You need to understand, these people are fucking insane. This is Spanish. These people are these people would have fought in the Spanish Civil War. That's who they are. That's who they are, really.
Yeah, it was one thing that was pointed out to me recently. I thought was really funny was
Weather Underground too.
Yeah, I was complaining about Social Security being broken, and the person I was talking to said, "Yeah, that's why we need immigration to balance out the Social Security system and get more taxes into the system." And I was like, "Wait a minute, hold on. Y'all created a fundamentally broken system, and then to fix your fundamentally broken system, you need mass migration and all the problems that's going to." It seems like it does seem like you're just getting in the business of just causing problems and then asking for more government power to fix those problems rather than just fixing the problem. Yeah. You see that woman in the Southern Poverty Law Center was banging some dude in the KKK or something like that.
That's got to be one of those liberal woman fantasies of her yeah, well, that, but it's also the those dirty books that the women read, My Chuddy Bully. It's she can't get away.
My Chuddy Bully.
Yeah. There's one called Milking Farm something that everybody talks about in this horrific fashion. I don't care to even know the full details of it. Apparently it's rather abhorrent.
Yeah, I guess the only thing more taboo than Minotaur porn is KKK porn. So there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, he lit the fire on the cross and in her loins.
I like how Sean's going on and off camera to drop those bombs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my mic fixed.
I understand why the Democratic Party wants more immigrants, though. And I mean, look, if you got a free ticket for you and a cousin that you married, right, to come into America and bring all of your other family members over, of course you would vote for the party that helped facilitate that. They know that the Republican Party is not going to support those types of things. So it makes sense to me. But at what cost, right? At the cost of the, law-abiding American citizens that are in that area? I don't think that's okay.
Well, and then at a certain point, the cost becomes the unified culture. But the for me, the glass shatter moment is that they would prefer to shatter the unified culture because the unified culture is viewed as an obstacle on their way to the perfect utopian society that they'd like to move towards. Like, people having cultural views and religious preferences and kind of like the built-in preferences for Western civilization, that's actually all like an obstacle to them to be overcome. And multiculturalism is kind of the way that you can chisel away at that, because now it's, in all senses, the modus operandi is to deny that there's such thing as normal. There's no such thing as a normal culture, a normal person, a normal, sexual life. Everything has to be atomized and scattered, and then they can come in with a new idea, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at these characters and see what they were up to. So here's our gang of defendants, and with others who are known and unknown. So there's known and unknown co-conspirators who are unindicted. They carried this out by coordinating anti-law enforcement actions using their RRNs, coordinated with social media, text messages, and encrypted messaging such as Signal, preparing and coordinating and executing direct attacks and blockades to forcibly obstruct federal immigration enforcement operations at the Whipple building. So we're going to be very focused on Whipple. Advocating and promoting direct action against ICE and other law enforcement officers working in Minneapolis and the surrounding area, utilizing hard blockades at around the Whipple building and throughout the Minneapolis area to forcibly obstruct and impede federal law and immigration enforcement actions. Members of the hard blockade team used debris, wood, leaf blowers, etc. Leaf blowers? Vehicles, trailers, check hedgehogs.
Leaf blowers divert the tear gas away.
Oh.
So when you're blowing at them, you can blow the tear gas away. Because the other thing you could do is you take a cone, you stick it over the top of it, and you pour water on it. Because a smoke grenade or a tear gas grenade is an incendiary device. It burns. So if you can just blow the smoke away, that's one way of handling it. Check hedgehogs are, you've seen Saving Private Ryan, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
So you know that thing at the beginning where it's like a bunch of big X's sticking out of the sand, make it look like jacks a little kid would play with?
Mm-hmm.
That's a check hedgehog. It's a very good, very effective obstacle for vehicles. It's the best for tanks, but like, hold on here. Here's
I get it, because it's on angle. So if you run a vehicle into it, the vehicle's going to get lifted.
Well, it can get lifted, but it can also get impaled. It'll dig it in further. Like the harder you push on it, the better it digs in. These are all just defensive barricades. So,
okay, yeah. And then so this is like, I mean, I guess I didn't watch like the riots, like some people, like I know, like Andrew Wilson and Rob Knorr were like watching the riots every night on stream. I wasn't doing that. I didn't realize they had like fortification. Like they were
they're very well organized and planned. But that stuff they've learned over the years, and they've learned like the thing with umbrellas. They actually learned that from people in Hong Kong protesting the Chinese government. It's funny, people actually protesting a Chinese communist government using umbrellas to block cameras, to block, as a rudimentary barrier, but it's also a barrier I can fold up and carry around, and it's not illegal. Why are you carrying an umbrella? It might rain. There's always things you can do with that.
So this is wild. This is new information for me. I didn't realize it was because, typically when you think about,
we'll get you there, Ryan. We'll get you there. One day we'll be having the insurgency chat one day.
Well, when I think about obstructing federal officers, I'm normally thinking about like we linked hands and like, saying we sang songs in solidarity, and the question is like, were you in their way such that it counts as obstruction or forcible obstruction? But this is like we were building barricades and we had countermeasures for your tear gas. This seems very different already.
Oh yeah, they had garbage. They also would take garbage. During the No Kings anyway, they would take huge garbage bins and like line them up and start fires and whatnot to stop the officers from like reaching a certain point.
I mean that.
Oh yeah, they have plans for all this, like taking 55-gallon drums, cutting them in half, making shields, taking parts of, plastic tables and making shields out of them. Yeah, they have been practicing this shit since 2020 at the very least. Like they are very good at what they do now.
And remember, chat, that the government just needs to prove that they were conspiring by force or intimidation to prevent a federal officer from discharging their duties. So, if you think about like building a barricade with countermeasures outside of a facility, that would already be the force is the physical object used to prevent the law enforcement officers from leaving the facility. And then, you are conspiring because you're working together to do this. And why are you building the Czech Hedgehog outside of their garage? To prevent them from using their vehicles, right? So this seems like we're getting pretty close already to being enough, but we'll see. So employing hard or soft security to counter purported fascists or counter demonstrators. Hard security involves members that are more confrontational and prone to physical violence. Soft security includes members utilizing de-escalation techniques. So they had different teams. Okay. And feel free to interrupt whatever. Don't wait.
No, I was just going to say de-escalation is always, it's not what you think. You think, oh, then please don't, no, they'll literally get in their face. And
yeah, but they operate as teams, and they operate kind of like a medieval fighting line. You have the people up front, and then you have the people behind them, and then you have layers of people all the way back operating in different roles with different responsibilities. So, the people up front are going to be the shit stirrers, and then from there you have another line, another line, another line. Like it's very well organized. It's very well organized.
That's the impression I'm getting. Conducting after-action reviews following planned direct. Oh, so they're watching film. Like a football
they
team.
sit down and talk about it. Yeah, they do hot washes. Like, what do we do right? What do we do wrong? How do we make it better?
Wow. Social media, text messaging, encrypted messaging, word of mouth to advertise and promote their direct actions. Coordinating with other groups and organizations, Melt the Ice, Week of Action, the Black Cat Workers Collective, the Ray Rainbolt Memorial Shooting Club, and others to plan and prepare for direct actions. Operating working groups for specific direct actions where members of the conspiracy develop, plan, and rehearse roles and operations for specific direct actions targeting federal law and immigration enforcement. Conducting targeted trainings and dry runs for participants to develop, plan, and rehearse roles, the use of shields, de-arrest tactics, and other strategies aimed at impeding federal law. I mean, if they can prove this, and the dry runs and stuff like that seems like a conspiracy slam dunk. If you're all, imagine normally conspiracy, you're trying to figure out like who's involved and what were they involved with. But if you're all, LARPing in the park and using your shields to prep for tomorrow's insurgency, that seems like a slam dunk to me.
Me too.
Yeah. Counter surveillance tactics to inform members about the activities of law enforcement at or around the Whipple building. Community self-defense, which is a decentralized militant approach to opposing groups it perceives as fascist, as well as local and federal law enforcement. I didn't realize that they were pushing against local law enforcement.
Yeah. Most of these people don't even know what fascist is. They just assume it's like anybody who supports the Republican Party or like MAGA. Yeah. Well, that's their definition.
Yeah, it's a word without it's a word without an operational meaning these days, to be honest with you. But
when you take meaning away from the word and you convolute terminology, it makes it easier to yield that in a way that you find favorable.
And remember, by not fighting local police, the government's going to be on your side, and the government can tell the cops to stand down and not get in the way. If you start fighting police, they're going to fight back, even if they're ordered not to. So it's clear if you just say, if you stay away from us, we'll leave you alone. Look what happened. The cops stayed away.
Yeah, and by the way, just as a reminder, so I can be a good streamer and my mods stop yelling at me. If they were, I maybe they weren't, and I'm being meanie, but in my head they're yelling at me. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow and subscribe AVG and Sean. Like, there's no reason not to. You're here, and we will definitely read super chats at the end. But I want to make sure that we're moving through it, because that often becomes its own segment of the show once we get to the end. So if you got super chats, please put them in. We will answer your questions, but we'll do it at the end. Thank you so much for the support. Appreciate seeing that come in. All right, so they use operational security, or OPSEC, such as collecting member cell phones during meetings to prevent recordings, utilizing commuting tactics, which include identifying, following, surveilling, harassing, and confronting.
That's another thing, guys. Remember, this thing right here, it's a tattle machine. So, like, I've had clients before, though, where we sat down and met, and you know what you do? These go in a box, and the box is lined with Mylar, so they're worried about being listened to, and that you prevent it and do whatever you can that way. So,
yeah.
A Faraday cage.
Yeah, exactly, if you're really worried about it. And training other affinity groups. Okay, so we have kind of a broad conspiracy, training, coordinating. This is what's being alleged. And then in paragraph 9, they're going to start telling us about the overt acts. Like, what specifically, factually, was alleged to have happened. And now this, chat, if you ever read an indictment, the reason I read it in this order is that you want to know what crimes have been alleged. Then you want to read the summary that gives you a sense of, like, what is the broad shape of the conspiracy and what is the broad shape of the actions you're about to read about. And then they're going to give you a list of very specific facts. But those facts won't make a lot of sense without the context. So hopefully we've now given you the broader context of what the allegations are all about. And now we can give you kind of like the play-by-play of each fact, which we'll comment on to the extent that it seems to us particularly significant. So on or about January 11th, Davis moderated an event called Emergency Meeting on Resistance to ICE Operation on Central Avenue, Southeast in Minneapolis. During the meeting, attendees broke out into the following groups based on their assigned roles for a January 23rd, 26th direct action at the Whipple building: hard blockade, soft blockade, mass commuting, civil disobedience, and march groups. Now, this is interesting to me because hard blockade sounds illegal, like in and of itself. Civil disobedience might not be. Like, if you're just there to protest, that might not be illegal. Marching probably isn't illegal, but hard blockade strikes me as obstruction.
Well, yeah, but the problem... Oh, you guys can hear me now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
A better mic? Okay, good. Thank God. Been fighting with this for 40 minutes. The problem is, though, this is all like organized and coordinated thing. So it's all one part of a thing there. So maybe the people at the very front don't know what they're doing, but for the most part, everybody in like running it knows the whole... It's all one group. It's like a football team. Everybody's got their role.
Well, that's an important point, because in a conspiracy, everybody who's a member is liable, right? Or, so if you were part of the, let's say, the march groups, but you weren't there innocently marching, you were there marching as part of the conspiracy to provide cover for the hard blockade team, you could be just as guilty of the conspiracy, because you were not merely engaging in political protest. Whereas if you were there just to protest and you were not part of the conspiracy, the mere act of protesting would not be illegal in and of itself. So at the meeting, Sant introduced Davis, stating he was part of the Black Cat Workers Collective. Okay, so these guys are showing up. Before the meeting ended, an unindicted co-conspirator created a signal chat group called TCDA, where individuals from the meeting joined to coordinate actions for the January 23rd, 26th action at Whipple. So they've definitely got this signal chat if they're talking about it.
Oh, yeah.
On or about January 13th, Kennedy posted on Facebook, It's going to get much worse, and nonviolent ideology and our politicians aren't going to save us. We need to become ungovernable. We need to actively resist anyway so we can so we can materially stop the Nazi occupation forces. Nonviolent ideology just isn't enough, gang. They've got. So, Sean, a tough question.
Yeah. Remember,
Sean,
these guys also want to pack the Supreme Court too. Just saying.
If nonviolent ideology isn't enough, what would be enough? Might it be violent?
Funny you should say that. I mean, wow, it's like for me and them, we're on the same page. I agree with them. We're kind of that point where it's like, it's kind of like Jack Reacher said. It's getting late. ABG's sitting here like, oh my God, this guy's going to get me investigated by the FBI. Holy shit.
Nah, it's impossible, Sean. I'm in Canada.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll see it. The Mounties are coming. The RCMP's coming.
She's just going to get euthanized. It's for her own good.
I have family in the Mounties. I think I'm covered there too, Sean. I think we're good.
There you go. Good.
So on January 14th, Sant was present when rioters broke into the FBI vehicles and stole several items, including a firearm on the north side of Minneapolis. It's interesting they didn't say that he did it. They just said he was present.
He probably told them what to do or where to go or how to, because that was the one when they shot the Venezuelan guy, and where it turns out those guys lied about it and the ICE agents have since been indicted for that. But yeah, everybody converged on that, and the FBI bailed, and their vehicle got broken into, and they ripped open the security lockers in the back and, yanked out the body armor, the M4 and everything. And the next morning they caught those guys with it.
Okay. So it's interesting though, that they didn't say he did it. They just said he was present when it happened. So I'm curious to see how they link that up. Like, was he directing them, or was he just watching? Like, were these?
I think he got them sent there.
He was a witness to it, or part of it in some capacity. Maybe not the full carrying out of the break-in, but he must have been present, i.e., there or witness to it at some point.
Yeah. Now, 6 minutes later, at 10:09, he sent a message in the TCDA signal group stating, "ICE is gone. Standoff here with the Minneapolis Metropolitan Police Department in riot gear." And again, later that same day, he sent a message in the TCDA signal group stat saying, "Some folks raided an ICE vehicle for paperwork." Sounds like they got more than paperwork.
Well, they broke open an ICE vehicle to get paperwork out of it. So they did a little bit of everything that night.
Yeah. And then the next day, he wrote an article for Crime Ethnic, an anarchist
Crime
blog.
Think.
Crime Think? I thought it was Crime Ethnic. That's so funny. Crime Think.
Well, yes, but ethnic people do commit crimes.
Well, also, like, why would you spell Crime Think like that with a C? Whatever.
They couldn't afford it. Because if you use a K, you know who uses a K? The Klan.
The Klan. So we don't use the K. That could be it. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what the fuck that word was. Okay. An anarchist blog that styles itself as an international network of aspiring revolutionaries. And Sant's article, "North Minneapolis Chases Out ICE, a first-hand account of the response to another ICE shooting," discussed law enforcement's response to an officer-involved shooting in North Minneapolis. In the aftermath, Sant wrote, "The officers lost control of the area and retreated, ceding the streets to those who had defied them." Sant continued, "ICE agents abandoned several vehicles in the area. Demonstrators opened up the vehicles and found identity cards, paperwork, license plates, operational plans, tactical gear, and other items." Wow, he really has a beautiful turn of phrase. They just opened the vehicles and found these things. They opened the vehicles and found the paperwork and tactical gear. It sounds very innocent, doesn't it?
No, it sounds premeditated. To state the obvious, I know that you were being sarcastic.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like the keys were in the ignition, the way he's describing it.
Yeah.
In the article, Sant discussed individuals breaking into an ICE vehicle. Sant described hearing someone yell, "This is one, this is ICE," while pointing at a silver SUV parked on 24th Avenue North. Sant said he then checked the plates against the database of ICE vehicles that activists keep, saw that she was correct, and instantly felt silly for doing clerical work in the middle of a riot. So they said it was an ICE vehicle. He verified that it was an ICE vehicle against the database that they were keeping for the purposes of their insurgency. Okay. Someone had started whacking one of the side windows with an ice scraper that had been in the previous vehicle, striking it as hard as possible. After a few swings, there was a satisfying crunch as the window gave in. People around me began kicking into windows too. Somebody got the driver's side door open and threw a firecracker inside into an empty car, I suppose.
That's what it appears. To what goal? I guess a diversion, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Start a fire.
So then on the 16th to the 17th, Appland and Wagner had a conversation in Signal chat. Appland messaged Wagner stating, "Hey, are you still in the cities?" Oh, so these guys are not from in town.
Yeah, that's
they're not local.
Yeah, they know who each other are.
My comrades, Jesus Christ, maybe. Sorry, I can't.
It's pretty cringe.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I have a hard time reading it with a straight face, let alone typing it. My comrades may be able to use your help.
What it is, though.
Do you still have that space in North? Kind of high security thing. So I want to be extremely careful if we decide to use the space, if indeed it is open. Building things. Need production space. Fuck ICE.
Of course, they got to say that at the end.
I know. It's kind of like, you know how like all the German communications ended with like Hail the Austrian painter, the Austrian painter, Sean, the Austrian painter.
He had the name his mama and daddy gave him. Don't you know? But yes, they're working on things, just like those ones in Texas were working on things.
Yeah, I'm sure that what they meant was they were doing.
They're making signs.
Yeah, they
had to post on Reddit.
They had to get their placards ready.
Yes,
Sean, you're looking tan, brother.
Well, it's sunny out here down there.
Yeah.
So, and I'm right now a Kempt man, so
yeah, look at that Florida life.
So I have to go run errands all day long with the sunroof open.
Not a bad life. Let's have a face-to-face conversation soon. We have resources. Apland responded 10 a.m. my place and provided his address. And on the 17th at approximately 11:46 a.m., Davis sent a message in TCDA Signal Group stating, "Announcement, please read. Working group delegates, please post links to your groups and reply to this message after reading to the bottom. The spokes coordinating group has been meeting and we're making good progress. This message is to communicate some information and to ask y'all to resort yourselves into final action groups for Friday. Update, we're all in for 123. We have some initial plans, but also a few challenges. So especially if you have connections to AFL-CIO leadership or decision makers, please ask them to focus on Whipple and not downtown." Okay, so they're honing in on their target.
Or they're asking for diversionary tactics to be employed.
Oh, interesting.
Too. I mean, who knows what they're trying to do? They might be doing a lot of different things, but it's like, wow, the labor unions are full of communists. Wow, who would have thought that? Who would have thought that, Chad?
I mean, they do call each other comrade. It does.
I know, but who would have thought though that the workers' parties they would be working with this?
Stunning revelation. On the 18th, Wagner posted a video on his Instagram account, Chow Follows, which was captioned, "I'm fundraising for other mutual aid networks and spending my resources fighting back and organizing."
That's chaos.
Chaos?
Yeah. No, when they say Chow Bella Chow, we'll know when they're saying that. That's
all right. See, this is why I've Sean here, for his insurgency knowledge.
It is quite impressive, Sean.
Sean's a deep well.
I know all kinds of great stuff.
If you can't be here and want to see us take the fight to them, give me your support and help us stop ICE now. My link is in my bio. Fund community protection and anti-ICE direct action. Viva la resistance is the hashtag. So we're back to direct action. I assume there's going to be a lot of testimony to the jury about what direct action means. to give these all context. Also on the 18th, Applin sent a text message to Wagner stating, "Hey Kyle, are you still planning on coming by this morning? Ike, Sant, and I are hanging out here waiting for you." And Wagner sent a text to Applin stating, "Here." Applin also sent a text message to Wagner, called him, and left a voicemail. So they're all just placing these guys at the scene.
Yep.
At 12:23, Applin introduced Wagner to Sant in the January DIY Signal group message. Applin messaged Wagner and Sant. On or about the 18th, Sant posted a white flyer advertising the January 23rd blockade at the Whipping Building in the January DIY Signal group message. Okay, so they're all. It looks like this whole conspiracy is going to be the build up to the 23rd, where they blockade the Whipple Building, and this is all the logistics that are building up to that particular event.
This is clear coordination. This is conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, right? Like
proven in court.
And then I think that if they're putting out like Czech hedgehogs and that sort of thing, that should be an obvious obstruction. So, on or about the 18th at 4:56, Sant messaged Wagner in the DIY Signal group. "Good talking today. Let me know when the earliest date and time we could use that warehouse is." So again, they're coordinating. On the 18th at 4:59, Applin messaged Wagner, "Would it be all right, useful if I connect you with a comrade of a comrade?" Jesus Christ, a comrade of a comrade. From Chicago, who has carpenter friends who want to help with shield building. So now we have
it's just so cringe. They're all comrades and struggling. It's like, bro. Like, on the right, we don't say hello, fellow chuds. It doesn't work that way.
Sean, you're a chud of a chud, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't he was the chud's chud. No, he wasn't the comrade's comrade. Like, we don't do this. You just do your thing. I know it, bro.
All right, but then in terms of, we were looking for interstate stuff. This looks interstatey, and bringing in people to build shields for so that you have shields to push back against law enforcement certainly seems like a coordinated conspiracy. On the 18th at 5:39, Applin created a new signal group called New Friends and added Wagner and Sam. Applin messaged the group, "Kyle, meet Sam. Sam is coming up from Chicago to support us. Also has some friends here who want to help with shield building. I learned this morning that Kyle was planning to shield build as well. Learned about Sam from my longtime California comrade, Forrest, who also happens to be on this chat." Okay, good to see that the comrades are getting together to do some whittling. On or about the 19th, the Black Cat Worker Collective's public Facebook page advertised direct action to shut down ICE and listed the date as January 23rd, 2026. The post also stated, "The Whipple Building is ICE headquarters for the entire upper Midwest. If we shut them down here, we halt the deportation machine everywhere. All out to Whipple this Friday." Sant later posted an image of the direct action to shut down ICE image in the TCDA group signal chat. And then the next day, Sant sent a message to the TCDA signal chat stating, "I just circled around Whipple and a car and scoped it out. There were 15 Hennepin." I don't know what that is.
Hennepin's the county where, it's the county where they're located.
Okay, Sean, you really have a fountain of knowledge.
I try to, man. It's all I got.
With 2 by light rail and 2 in the South Lot and all the rest near Gate 3 on Federal Drive and in the tennis building. We should expect and plan for at least that many sheriff vehicles to be there on Friday. Their main goal is going to be to keep us out of the street and on the sidewalk. If we have the numbers, this may be difficult for them. Every spoke should adjust their plans accordingly. So here we have a plan to interfere with local law enforcement as well as federal law enforcement. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On January 20th, Kennedy purchased a trailer from Capital Car on Facebook Marketplace. Kennedy messaged that he was borrowing a truck and could pick up the trailer the following day. Did they use trucks in their obstacles?
They use them to haul everything.
Oh, okay.
They'll use those. They'll use like A U-Haul truck rolls up, dumps out shields. Like they have a whole. It's kind of like kids playing Call of Duty. You call it up, and air support rolls in, and supply packages get dropped. Like no, they literally are doing this.
Yeah.
This is how they operate.
Can I ask a kind of dumb question? How
Sure.
do they have the money and time to do all this?
Well, they have the money from all the different organizations that are out there that fund them, and then the time, because there's a, like any good insurgency, you have a really dedicated and trained and experienced revolutionary corps, and then they could teach the knowledge out, and they do. I'm going to sound like the GBRS guys when it's going to be cringe. They engage in knowledge transfer. Like if I know how to run the group, I could teach you comms. And then I could teach AVG how to do like some basic planning, and I teach somebody else how to do X. And then, yeah.
I already know how to make sandwiches, so we're good on that one.
I like, well, my chat's going to love that because I like sandwiches. But you start teaching out all the different skill sets, and you have this core of people who know how to do it, and these guys can move around the country. And then, in each area, like Atlanta, Charlotte, wherever you want to go, any big city, you get a cell of like 8 or 9 people trained up and ready to go. The 8 or 9 people, it's like a Green Beret A team. They go out and then they can raise 100 people very quickly. Then they can turn around and raise another 100 people very quickly. It's all scalable. That's how this is done. And this is not, at the end of the day, to learn all this stuff, it's not very hard. And if you guys were to sit down and like learn all this, you'd be like, okay, yeah. But it's really just using things out of the back in my stack of fun stuff back here, but like the FM 7-8, the basic field manuals out of the military, just organization, and like that's all it is. It's basic organization. Like they're using cell phones, they're using things like Baofeng radios, like they're not using anything. Like what they're doing is not. It's not super technical. It's not very hard to learn. It's just you have to organize and want to do it. And that's how you get away with this. And then when they sit down in groups, like when they do these things where they sit around and they do like community preparation, or they go learn and hang out with each other and talk about gay communist stuff, what they're doing is they're also learning this stuff here and there. So that's how they're always practicing little bits and pieces of it. And then by the time they're ready to go, they're ready to go.
Isn't there also paid protesters, Sean?
Well, there's some of that too, yes. But like in any insurgency, though, you don't need a highly trained, like the entire body doesn't need to be highly trained. You just need dedicated and knowledgeable cadre. And from there, you disseminate skill sets out. But yes, you bring on out of town talent to help. But the guys in Minnesota, it's a commie hotbed. They've been working on this for a long time. Like when they get together, they're learning, they're doing these things. Like they've practiced doing the shield work before. They practiced how you go out and shit stir. This idea of doing the car chasing and tailing. They've been working on this for a while now. Like this is nothing. You teach people it, and think about it. I could teach you and Ryan to go be a surveillance team and just say like, here's your little spot on the map. Don't go outside this spot on the map. When you get to the edge of the map, say here where you're at. Here's how you do a salute report. Size, location, direction, movement, strength. Forward it on, and then another group comes, and you'll stay in your sector. Like they're not hard skills to learn.
But I guess my thing was I was just like, don't these people have like something to do? Like during
day jobs.
Like don't you have a fucking job?
Well, for the people running the like car blockings and stuff like that, yeah. They would go, like, they would work around, that's the thing that was happening. Like, I got to go pick up my kids. They had enough people who, like, that's the thing. When you grow big and popular enough, you can have people and you could bounce back and forth and you could pull people in or out of these things. And they were doing that. Now, like, the people at the heart of it, no, they're a bunch of losers who don't have jobs. And they're getting paid and supplied and supported in other ways. But for a lot of those people coming out to protest, yeah, that's why they do it at night. They don't got to work. Their job's over. They come out and stir shit up, then they go home. But yes, at the main core, they're paid.
The core is very organized. This is very organized so far. This sounds.
But on the outsides of it, it's people with normal jobs and stuff.
All right.
Seems like-
By the way, if you have not
Also, I'm
subbed-
trying not to be like lectury or.
No. Sean's
good.
got a
Ridiculous about
PhD in insurgency, so it's good.
You got it at Commie College.
Well, that's just a
Just
college.
kidding, Sean.
Well,
Yeah. Okay.
I-
Sean was a helicopter operator at Commie College. He would offer
I was about to say, yeah, like we studied on life like targets of Che Guevara.
yeah.
Hit the chopper. Yeah.
He'd offer all the communist students rides in his helicopter, and then they just never came back to class. It's very mysterious what happened.
Doing God's work. I mean,
So, by the way, if you have not subbed to AVG and Sean yet, why not? And if you haven't liked the streams yet, why wouldn't you have done that? This is an amazing stream. Go like these good people and support their channels. Okay, so they rent a U-Haul. I don't think we need to read that specifically. They got some flyers, and then on the 21st at 3:15, Sant texted an individual about neighborhood rapid response groups, describing them as extremely well organized and have good communication practices. Signal groups with 1,000 people. This is exactly what Sean was just talking about. With 1,000 people in them, form every day and are deleted and recreated every night. We benefit a lot from a counter surveillance program called Whipple Watch, which is mostly what I did for the first 5 weeks of the invasion. That's people posted up at the big federal building, taking pictures of ICE license plates and adding them to a publicly accessible database in real time. Sant continued, there is also a lot of frustrating peace policing and a level of OPSEC that can be paralyzing. Probably 8,000 to 10,000 people are volunteering to patrol their neighborhoods. When they find a kidnapping, meaning ICE.
Ironically enough, they're bitching about OPSEC, and their failure to have OPSEC is how this fucking thing happened. So this is the point of OPSEC, chat. This is the point of OPSEC, so you don't get your shit in a fucking indictment.
Wow, this quote is going to be, I think this is going to be read to the jury. This is going to be a good quote for the prosecution. There's not a strong, when you find a kidnapping in progress, there's not a strong culture of physically resisting. Kidnapping meaning ICE enforcing the law. Although that might be changing since Renee's murder. The most frustrating thing is when you show up at a kidnapping and the person running dispatch tell you to stay 30 feet away and take pictures. Or even worse, when they say, stay away from there, we have enough observers. An ad hoc liberal coalition called Defend 612 plays an outside role. After the murder, my crew called for a mass spokes council about planning direct action resistance to ICE. We encountered a lot of pushback from libs in every rapid response group. So I think, I mean, to me, Mr. Sant has very clearly distinguished his ideology from the libs who are non-violent and not taking direct action to impede ICE and saying that that's not good enough and calling for direct action.
Consider these types centrist, most likely.
yeah, and
Right.
overt
Ryan
and
doesn't
direct.
get the right. You get the joke, Ryan. Come on.
Yeah.
These are centrists. They're not real like this.
Yeah,
Got hardcore enough.
Yeah.
And also
I'm-
direct and overt are synonymous. Are they not, gentlemen? So just saying,
yeah.
with respect to overt action, right?
Yeah. If you take direct physical action to resist the ICE, yeah, that's definitely an overt act. And by the way, I'm realizing you are correct, AVG. I didn't have your full YouTube in channel in the name. Can one of my mods?
fault.
Yeah.
Lazy mods.
Can one of my mods link her channel, please, just so that we make sure we're directing some
My
traffic?
mods
our way?
don't do this. My mods take care of people.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, a potentially criminal. We take care of people.
Yeah, but if his mods send you a package, you got to listen to make sure it's not ticking before you open.
Oh yeah,
it.
if they send you a package, don't kick it like a soccer ball.
Yeah, there's trade-offs there. So on January 22nd at 8:34 a.m., Applin sent a message to Wagner stating, "We do need one or two of your trucks if you can make them available. This is an essential moment. The plan may not go forward if someone does not volunteer a truck. The trucks may not be lost. They might be marked. Plates might be compromised." Okay, so he's letting you know we need a truck, but you might get some police attention on your truck afterwards. And then at 11, he sent a message in the construction invoice number 7 signal chat stating, "Cam Kennedy, meet Kyle Wagner. Kyle is very generously offering a truck. Wagner responded, "What's up? Happy to help." Kennedy replied, "Hey, Kyle, you're a hero. We need this bad to pull off our action tomorrow." Kennedy messaged, "Well, if you're willing to face possible arrest," so they know it's illegal,
Yeah.
"it would be to use your truck to drive a trailer and deploy it with a small team of vetted folk to block a roadway. Time permitting, using chains to flip it." It meaning the truck, I assume?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
"If you aren't comfortable with that, letting us borrow your truck will ensure we can make this action happen." Wagner responded, "For sure, can empty the truck and let it go missing. I've been urged by the community not to engage and to stay free, so I cannot get arrested. But this truck is already been stolen twice out of Uptown, and we're going to let that happen again today, yeah?" Oh,
yeah.
So that they're planning false police reports. Interesting.
Oh yeah, it's all about misdirection.
Kennedy replied, "Love it. We have another driver lined up, so that works grand. When can we pick it up? And do you have a 2-inch hitch for a trailer?" Wagner messaged, "It has hitches and balls for 2 or 2 5/16. I will have it cleaned out and ready this afternoon. You can take it after I have my shit cleared out." Between the 22nd to 23rd, they sent 20 connected signal calls to each other. And on the 23rd at 7:01 a.m., Kennedy rented a 10-foot moving van from a U-Haul location in St. Paul, Minnesota. Wait on. Okay, so they needed 2 trucks, I guess.
Yeah, they need as many as they could get.
So he rented a U-Haul.
Yeah.
God, that doesn't seem like a criminal mastermind move, like using a rented U-Haul.
No,
What
but
are we
hey, I
gonna
mean,
use?
think about the World Trade Center guys. Rented a Ryder truck and then they went back to get the deposit afterwards. So in 1993, people are not smart. Like, you think you're smart, you think like they think they're operating with impunity, and you kind of operate sloppy when that happens.
Yeah.
Like if they operated like they were being observed and they were being documented, they were being followed, they would operate in a lot more of a protected way.
So now it's an interesting time to to kind of like sum up where we are, because this is kind of the dividing line. But I should have done the line up. Whatever, you get the point.
Yeah.
We're now on the 23rd. It should have been a paragraph up. But we're now getting into the actual day of rather than the planning phase. So like maybe I'm trying to remember like the key details. They had people coming up to build shields. They were coordinating the trucks. They were coordinating the people, and they were saying that they were talking about how nonviolent ideology is insufficient, and they need to have direct action, which is what they're planning today.
And to target the Whipple.
And to target specifically the Whipple building. Okay, so what are they going to do on the 23rd? Well, they started this Jake the Plumber business, and Thorson had her white Subaru with a black trailer. And Sant walked from that business and entered the U-Haul moving and storage at Hiawatha, the Hiawatha U-Haul, which is located on Hiawatha Avenue in Minneapolis. And then Sant, 721 and 727, Sant received short code text messages from U-Haul, which is not that interesting. I saw code and I was like, oh shit, they've got coded communications. I was getting all excited, like get out your decoder ring, but no, it's just U-Haul sending him the codes to open the trucks. Sant drove a U-Haul cargo trailer from the Hiawatha U-Haul to the Jake the Plumber business. Multiple individuals loaded shields into the U-Haul cargo trailer in the Jake the Plumber parking lot. During this time, Thorson was near the Jake the Plumber business in her Subaru. Davis sent a text message in the TCDA signal group message stating, "People who are on the ground today should leave and delete this group." That's interesting.
Evidence destruction. Love that.
Yeah, and I think it also shows intent, like in terms of mens rea. Like we know we're up to some shit. Therefore we're deleting the evidence. Thorson drove the Subaru with a black trailer to a parking lot in around the northwest corner of the Whipple building and parked. And then at 8:44, Sant drove the U-Haul cargo trailer to the North Park and Ride parking lot at around the Whipple building. Sant exited the U-Haul cargo trailer and walked to the Fort Snelling light rail station. Doyle was a passenger. At 8:47 a.m., a crowd gathered from across the main gate of the Whipple building. Several of the individuals later met with Sant and took part in the soft blockade at the light rail station on Minnesota Avenue. So this is not the hard blockade. They're not like getting the shields out, but this is the gentler touch. At 8:48, Sant entered the rail station. At 8:53, 7 individuals left the main gate at around the Whipple building and met Sant at the Fort Snelling light rail station. The group was carrying walkie-talkies and wearing neon vests. Sant appeared to give instructions while holding a walkie-talkie in his hand. I wonder if they're going to have witnesses who will flip and say what he said at this point, because they don't
Probably
seem
the
to know.
cowards. These people are not
100% someone's flipped. There's no way they got all this information otherwise.
Yeah, it's always interesting when you see who shows up on the witness stand as a cooperating witness. Okay, so Kim and Stewart were at the Fort Snelling light rail station, and Kim got a radio. At 8:59, Doyle noted a large ice out and Palestine flag shields from the back of the U-Haul car. It can never just be the one issue. It's always got to be the global resistance, right? From the back of a U-Haul cargo carrier in and around the North Park and Ride parking lot to a group of approximately 30 to 40 people. Doyle also passed out pieces of white 55-gallon drums and wooden items to the crowd. I guess those are like makeshift shields or weapons of some kind.
It has to be. What else? Wooden item. I mean, swords. I don't think so. It must be shields.
Hey, Sean, the Resistance Whisperer. What would they be using pieces of white 55-gallon drums as? Shields, I assume?
Yeah, you cut them in half, basically. If you guys have ever seen the pictures of them, like think about those plastic drums.
Mm-hmm.
You could cut it out and you whip it out and round it on the outside and strap some bolts to it, and you've got free shields. And they're pretty durable.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Then between 9:01 and 9:03, Sant met with a group of individuals at the light rail station and appears to give them directions. Again, would like some witness testimony there. At 9:05, Sant left the light rail station and walked towards the North Park and Ride station. At 9:22 to 9:25, Sant provided a radio to an individual and a group wearing neon vests and holding shields and barriers from the North Park and Ride lot towards the soft blockade at around the light rail station. Okay, so we got Sant passing out radios, coordinating, directing traffic. Doyle drove the U-Haul cargo carrier away from the area of North Park and Ride parking lot. And at 9:38, he drove the U-Haul to the area at around Doyle's residence at Snelling Avenue in Minneapolis. At 9:46, the group holding shields and barriers stood side by side, shoulder to shoulder, blocking the road and vehicular traffic, forming a soft blockade in the road. Okay, so it's a soft blockade because it's just people with shields. They haven't fortified it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shoulder to shoulder.
So it would be a hard blockade if they put out like the Czech hedgehogs and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and the barriers and whatnot.
Yeah. At 10:01, Sant told individuals participating in the soft blockade that he was going to see if the other blockade was deployed. Sant then walked from the soft blockade toward the Whipple building's main gate. I wonder how effective were these blockades? Were they blocking the whole road?
I mean, they weren't ultimately, they didn't stop them, but they were trying. They had to move through them, but they had to navigate through these crowds, and they had to get, you saw it where the ICE officers would come rush out. And it's kind of like when you see in Portland. Yeah. They'll blow everybody back from the gate with tear gas and pepper balls, and then the car gets out. And then they collapse back in, and then everybody recrowds the gate. So,
see that if they're doing it outside the gate, that's like textbook obstructing. Like you're trying to prevent them from accessing. And then,
they're literally that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
If you ever see how they do it in Portland, that's exactly how they do it.
Interesting. I get, But did they build actual barrett, like the hedgehogs and stuff outside?
Well, not every time they have, but what they would do is basically gather around the gate and make it so nobody could drive through, because otherwise you have to drive over everybody. So that's why if you guys, I'm gonna have to show you some of these riot streams at some point. They basically, AVG's probably seen them, but the ICE guys would have to come out and the DHS guys would have to come out and basically push everybody back. and just clear the road and plow the road with tear gas and rubber bullets, and let the cars get out. And then the cars would get out, and then they'd be forced to fall back into their perimeter.
So if you look at the press release and from the DOJ with respect to the blockades at the, I'll post the link in the back. It says that they successfully utilized hard and soft blockades to surround the building.
Okay, so they were using both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used it to disrupt federal at the federal building in Minnesota during Operation Metro Surge. Apparently, this triggered a large buildup of law enforcement presence, which resulted in the erection of chain link fencing and concrete barriers around it, which were eventually dismantled in May 2026. Yeah. They temporarily halted access to the facility, but it looks like they did successfully do it for a period of time.
Yeah, and that would be textbook obstructing of federal officers, and certainly conspiracy to obstruct the federal officers. I also have to wonder, like, what the hell was local PD doing during this time? Like, I mean, you've got people in the street with shields.
They're being told to stand down.
Yeah,
like literally, they were told, stand down. Like, we want this. Like, they were told to leave them alone.
Wild.
Well, that's because their command. They're like you like. The guy who runs the Minneapolis Police Department's a commie goober just like Jacob Fry. I mean, it's a city full of communists and a bunch of commie goobers. Like that's what they're gonna do. Well, and the rank and file ain't risking their pension or little Susie's dental plan to go crack some skulls of some Antifa losers. On top of that, you're gonna get attacked. Nobody's coming to help you. They'll come find you, maybe burn your house down and kill your family. Like, they don't want that smoke. They'll just stay home and collect their pension.
Well, this is hopefully for those of you in chat, this is useful for you, because you're going to be told that this is, all nonsense and imaginary or an exaggeration. But certainly the level of coordination that's been described so far is intense. So this doesn't sound like an imaginary crime to me so far. This sounds like a pretty well-documented conspiracy. But of course, make your own judgment. And by the way, like and subscribe to everybody here. We've got like across platforms, something like 500 live viewers right now. So, get in there, like the stream, support the creators.
Thank you, Ryan. Just a point on the Democratic narrative. I've actually watched a couple of I've even watched a criminal defense attorney speak for one of the individuals who was indicted, and the narrative is this: Trump doesn't like Tim Walz. He doesn't like Minnesota. It's a Democratic state. This is a move to, kind of shut down any kind of form of dissent against the government. And these people that were indicted and were destroying property and stalking officers and putting people's lives in danger, they're people too. One of them even is an educator. Yeah.
It's a comrade of a comrade. They're all good people. Yeah.
They're little heckin' good guys.
Yeah. This is why I like Trump's idea of changing ICE to NICE, just to really confuse the dialectic. For like, the nice officers are out there. Now what are you going to do?
National Immigration Customs Enforcement.
Yeah. Perfect.
Works out.
Yeah. All right. So then they have the soft blockade at 10:22. Sant spoke with the groups across Whipple Building main gate. Several individuals from the group threw large ice blocks at law enforcement vehicles and into the road at around this time. So it sounds like he was coordinating this particular act of obstruction. Remember, enforceable obstruction is a very low bar. Like throwing ice would count. Throwing ice at ice, irony of ironies.
Which is what they did. Yeah. So there we go.
Okay, so Sam spoke with an RR member and went back to soft blockade. At 10:29, Thorson was participating in the soft blockade. At around 10:32, a U-Haul cargo carrier towed a trailer that flipped over at Bloomington Road and the Minnehaha Avenue North. So then I guess they did eventually flip one of the trucks.
Yeah, but all you can say is, oops, I'm sorry, I flipped my trailer. Whoopsie, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's just a traffic accident.
And I guess the dot they're connected. They don't say who flipped it. They're just saying that it flipped, which is interesting. I wonder if they'll develop that fact later, because earlier they showed the text planning to flip a truck, but I guess they haven't connected the dots fully here yet. Okay. A truck with the identified features of Wagner's vehicle towed the trailer that was purchased by Kennedy. The trailer later crashed near the intersection of 7th Street West and South Avenue. So yeah, again, just a total coincidence. They just, the U-Haul flipped itself. The trailer crashed itself. What are you going to do? What are you going to do, gang? We had nothing to do with us. And then, yeah. From 10:39 to 11:11, individuals near the main gate of the Whipple building threw large ice blocks at law enforcement vehicles. At 10:47 a.m. or around, individuals formed a second soft blockade east of the Whipple building main entrance. And at around 11:05, Wagner posted a video to his Kyle Wagner Facebook account stating, "I'm Kyle. I'm Antifa." Well, okay. That's helpful. Thanks, Kyle. "I'm on my way to Whipple with a bunch of gas masks with filters. Get in my DMs, give me a salute, and let me know how to best get you taken care of. There's more. I have everything. I can fit in the car at the moment." Okay. So he's there to give gas masks to the mostly peaceful protesters who, doing God's work. No coordination here, just honest free speech. At around 11:14, Sant left the soft blockade and walked back to the soft blockade site. At around 11:18, Wagner took a video of a trailer flipped over. At 11:24, the soft blockade moved to the North Park and Ridge parking lot to set up on the street. At 11:32, Wagner was in the North Park and Ride parking lot in a white Chevy Blazer. At 11:35, an unindicted co-conspirator. I wonder why they're unindicted if we know who this person is. Perhaps a cooperating co-conspirator?
Yeah, they're the snitch, I bet.
People be snitching.
That sounds like a snitch to me. Texted Wagner, "Where you at?" Wagner responded, "I'm going to roll down here. Where do you guys think you want to park? Over at 1010 or what?" The unindicted co-conspirator replied, "We are figuring it out." At 11:37, Thorson drove the Subaru with the black trailer away from the parking lot and around the northwest corner of the Whipple building. Sant was a passenger. At 11:42, Wagner posted a video to his Kyle Wagner Facebook account stating, "I am at the North Fort Snelling Park and Ride. We have a blockade of protesters across the street with shields prepared to stand guard here." At around 11:55, an unindicted conspirator texted Wagner, "I'm going to be in a million pictures and I'm kind of not ready." Wagner responded, "That's okay. Your voice carries. Be proud, BB. I'm proud of you, and others will find strength in what you do." The unindicted co-conspirator replied, "Did you hear me, Big? I got big with a guy in a plow, lol." Wagner texted, "I saw you front and center with your shield yelling and heard you when I was walking up."
That's his woman. It's got to be his BB is like baby.
Oh, wait, but that's an unindicted co-conspirator.
Yeah, it's so somebody's banging, if not in a relationship with.
You think his boo flipped? His boo flipped on him and she's
BB is like baby. Yeah. It's a term of endearment.
Baby boy, probably.
Wow, that would be
his bottom.
Well, that would bring some drama to the courtroom if it was chat seems convinced it stands for butt buddy, but that's alleged. But if his BB flipped on him, that would make for some entertaining testimony. Though it's federal, so we probably won't get cameras.
Bottom boy, somebody says. Where you at, BB? We going ham.
Oh no.
No homo.
Oh BB. At 11:58, Wagner sent a video to an unindicted co-conspirator which showed him driving the trailer that was tipped over. Oh, so he was driving the trailer and then the trailer tipped over later. Who could say how that happened? Wagner texted, "We shit down?" Why would you say we shit down? Wouldn't it be we shut down? All right. We shit down both back entrances and have them trapped one way in and one way out from that north entrance. The unindicted co-conspirator texted, "I wasn't even scared. I was ready to tell them to fuck off. And I did." All right. Well, this is pretty bad as terms of admissions go. Saying that like they use the blockades to trap the law enforcement officers. That's probably going to be good jury testimony.
That's obstruction.
So it sounds like what they're trying to do is set up a funnel, one way in and one way out from that north entrance.
Yes, you can almost argue they're setting up an ambush.
Yeah. At 2:52, Sant drove the U-Haul carrier from residence on Cheatham Avenue in Minneapolis and parked in front of Doyle's residence on Snelling. Doyle entered the passenger side of the U-Haul carrier, and the U-Haul cargo carrier departed the area. Sant drove the U-Haul cargo carrier with Doyle as passenger to the Hiawatha U-Haul to return it. At or around 3:05, Sant drove the U-Haul cargo carrier to the Hiawatha U-Haul. Doyle was in the passenger seat. Sant sent a message in the TCDSA signal group message stating, "I got out and I'm home safe. We held the intersection in Minnehaha and Federal for 2.5 hours. ICE was totally boxed in for half an hour and inconvenienced all morning." Okay, so they successfully obstructed ICE.
Like, we did it. We're good.
It's not normally a great idea to write text messages about your crimes, but each to their own.
They're behaving in a rather, like you said, transparent and traceable manner, which is relatively comical to anyone who understands.
Bell. Yeah, well, Stringer Bell reminded us about taking notes on a criminal conspiracy. Don't do it.
Yeah,
I can't play that clip here, so that's the sad part.
Oh.
Yeah, that clip's a Rumble exclusive.
Yes.
I love Rumble.
Yeah, I know. I did a bunch of spots on Chud the Builder recently, and I was like, I can describe Chud's basic content to you, but I can't play clips on YouTube, and it does lose something in translation.
I mean, I don't understand the big deal. All he just says, Nick.
Thank you, Sean, for
not all.
getting me ready to private the video as soon as stream's over.
Good Lord. We talked about that on X Space. I think it was last week, didn't we?
Yeah. You popped into what I was doing with Wilfred Riley. That was good. That was good content.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the 24th, Wagner posted. So this is the next day. So I guess they didn't put up like hard fortifications on the 23rd. They flipped the trailers. Which
not every day they did this. No.
So if it comes up at trial, and the prosecutors are trying to talk about hard fortifications, it would be the trailer flips and the truck flip, in theory, but they didn't set up the Czech hedgehogs in this instance. And I haven't heard anything about the leaf blowers or anything like that.
Aren't the leaf blowers just brought there as a precaution, like in case they need them for the tear gas? Or
well, they're 100% going to use tear gas. They use it all the time.
Yeah,
like they always use it.
Yeah,
maybe they just haven't used it yet in this specific timeline that we're reading right now.
What's interesting is we have a long ways to go, and they've already finished the 23rd. So I guess there's more incidents that they're going to weave into this conspiracy.
They did all kinds of crap in this whole situation.
Yeah,
like I mean, we watched them quite a few nights, painted quite a few models to them. Like they were busy beavers. So
okay. So then on the 24th, Mr. Wagner said on Facebook, "I am Kyle. I am Antifa." I thought it didn't exist, but anyway. And they just shot another fucking peaceful observer literally 5 fucking blocks away from here in my neighborhood, just like they shot Renee 14 blocks away over there. It needs to be said, you can't march and bang drums and sing songs when they're shooting people in the fucking head. Go and fucking fight them. A call to peaceful protest, if I've ever heard one.
Yep. So peaceful.
Yeah, very peaceful protest. And then Mr. Wagner posted a video on his Instagram while wearing a bulletproof vest. In the caption, Wagner directed anarchist kids to every armed American that's within a reasonable distance of the 26th and Nicollet in uptown Minneapolis need to come and stand. During the specifically armed Americans. During the video, Wagner explained, "I have my truck on standby. I have gas masks on the ground there. As much as I could deliver. I have people en route. If you're seeing this video, we're done with peaceful protests now."
This is not a peaceful protest. We are not doing that anymore.
So in case you were wondering, Kyle is done with peaceful protests.
He said it, but he didn't saddle the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, Kyle talked a big game, yet there he sat, not doing a goddamn thing about it.
The gloves come off and ICE needs to get out. Run for the hills, boy. Wagner stated, I have repeated myself ad nauseum to deaf ears of cowards and bitches made little fucking boys that was to fucking talk about their fucking feelings instead of putting hands on these murderers.
You know, keep in mind that he didn't do anything either, ultimately. You
Yeah.
know, and I will just say, you know, guys, remember, in the words of Memphis Bleak, to 1-900-HUSTLER, the strong move quiet and the weak start riots. So don't talk about it, be about it.
Sean, in his continuing quest to get my channel demonetized, strikes again.
Is that an ongoing effort of insurgency towards the channel?
Ryan's already on it. Ryan's already a couple steps on the way to when this channel started, Ryan was in one spot. Ryan is very quickly, as he does more and more stuff out here, is slowly, he's going to become so right. He's throwing Andrew Wilson out of a helicopter as things go into the straight. Yes.
Yeah, every time I talk to Sean's chat, they have some new horrifying right-wing internet degeneracy they want to lure me
no,
into.
I just
They're like, oh,
experience.
Ryan,
The right,
amulet? Touch
Well, no,
the
it's
amulet,
just
Ryan.
every time
Touch the
Ryan
amulet.
interacts with the left, and you know he hangs out with Wick and them, it just they shove him a little farther over this way, and I'm like, all right.
Well, I mean,
It's soon Ryan's gonna be like, brother.
I did have a debate recently where like my opponent just openly called for political violence against the right, which is like that's new. So you know these are
Wow.
this is
Yes.
Oh,
I'm just saying every time Ryan
clip?
interacts, he just shoves them.
No. I
Oh.
only hang out with libertarians and fellow writers, so that's about it. I don't have any lefty groups that I've even like. I guess debated. I've debated a couple, but nothing that extreme.
They fucking hate me. They hate me so much. It's like
They hate you more than me because they see you as a traitor.
yeah, they see me as
Oh.
they see me as a traitor, and they believe that like they have an exclusive claim to intellectualism. So, you know, like if I show up and I'm like, no, this is what the court case says, and let me walk you through the standard and why the Trump immunity decision was good and constitutional, they get really fucking angry about that.
It's true. Law school is a liberal, generally path to hell.
It
For
sure
most.
is. I mean, this isn't the good clip, but it's one that I'm fond of. So since we're here together, this is my last interaction with Destiny.
When we talk about like,
am I blacklisted or are you stalking me? What's going on here, brother?
I'm stalking you and you're blacklisted.
He's stalking me and I'm blacklisted.
He's gonna stop. He admitted
Well, that's
to
okay.
like.
He considers me a penny lawyer, so that's all right.
Yeah, this is he started this thing where I'm blacklisted, so I can't message him or set up debates, but then he calls into the shows I'm on to impromptu debate me. So he's both stalking me and I'm blacklisted, which is I don't know.
So he's going full, like Gone Girl on one hand, and the other side just expects, you to have no recourse. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's an interesting personality. My little buddy.
That's what happens if you coom too much, guys. Don't coom too much.
Okay, so on the 24th, Wagner posted a video, again in his bulletproof vest. Wagner admitted to being Antifa. Wagner stated, if you are caught up, it's time to suit up. Boots on the ground. Nicolette and fucking 26. My house is 4 blocks away. Shouldn't have said that online. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicolette and 26, and Nicolette show up ready to go. Okay, not talking about peaceful protests anymore. We're not talking about having polite conversations anymore. This is exactly what I said was gonna fucking come when we didn't fucking go march on fucking Whipple with guns. Sorry, but welcome to America 2026, where the Second Amendment is the only thing that's going to keep you fucking protected from literal fucking Nazi gunmen that are killing innocent people in the street with impunity. This is not a fucking joke. There's nothing fun to chant about it. Get your fucking guns and stop these fucking people.
With the guns, presumably. That's what I read from that.
I think that's a fair inference, counselor.
Yeah.
So, again, if you're in chat and you feel like somebody says these are just mostly peaceful protests, this might be a good paragraph to read them to clarify what the organizers really think. Okay.
Oh, well, they'll just say, oh, those are a couple bad actors, you know, that wasn't the majority of people. And that's what I think is actually so beautiful about this indictment. It's very targeted. It's very well thought out. They aren't just broadly, you know, as much as that would be great to just take all of these people and just throw them in the clink for this stupidity. Helping it be targeted does assist them, I think, in getting a conviction.
Yeah, and hopefully people read this and get a sense, because, like, I mean, like, you know, Sean's been giving me some shit, but like, I didn't know that there was this level of organization and this level of kind of like, yeah, you can call it bad apples, but really like revolutionary.
All right, Ryan, I'm ready. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, he's ready to ride at dawn.
You didn't know that Sean's last name is Kennedy, so.
Oh really? Any relation to the?
No, I'm fucking.
I got a really bad cold. I can't keep that on. I can't breathe too well.
That's the bummer about gas masks, right?
The funniest thing about Sean is that, like, he didn't get the gas mask for the gag. He just had it in his office. He was like, "Oh shit!" I don't
own it. No, it's not for the gag. It's to have a gas mask.
That's right.
Okay, so on the 24th, Kennedy posted on Facebook, the massive amount of support for physical resistance in the streets against ICE today made everyone who resists safer. By supporting the resistance, you are creating a smokescreen of discontent that makes us all safer and harder to track. Moreover, when frontline feel supported, they act far more boldly because they know if they fight ICE in the street, folks actually harbor them and help them instead of lecturing them on non-violence like a fucking dork. I added the dork.
Yeah, no, that's what they think.
On or about the 25th, Sant wrote an article for, we now think this is Crime Think with a C because K's are racist, which is an anarchist-style blog that styles itself as an international network of aspiring revolutionaries. In the article titled Minneapolis Responds to the Murder of Alex Preddy, Sant wrote that it was an eyewitness account from an anarchist in Minneapolis. Sant discussed receiving a signal message about individuals manning a barricade and facing off against ICE on Nicollet Avenue. Funny, we just heard something about Nicollet Avenue, as if these people were organizing on Nicollet Avenue.
So weird.
Yeah. He described a large crowd behind wooden barricades. Oh, so they did create wooden barricades on Nicollet Avenue with ICE and Customs and Border Protection officers on the opposite side. Sant stated, "We could see fear in their eyes." Sant stated that law enforcement fired tear gas at him and the crowd, and then ICE SUVs and an armored vehicle attempted to leave the scene towards the highway. Sant wrote, "We ran down First Street, where I'd started out, to try and catch the agents as they retreated. We turned and ran north back up 26. People were peppering their cars with rocks and ice chunks as they drove off towards the 35W on-ramp." I was kind of expecting him to say something a little bit more like wowzers at the end than like we threw ice at the car.
Yeah.
That was like a lot of buildup for kind of a little bitchy ending, but all right, whatever. Okay, so
they are little bitches.
That checks out. So on the 26th, Kyle has another I'm Antifa post, and I'm back. The fight is well and alive. We have pushed ICE to leave this city in droves. We have made our voices heard.
This is High School Musical resistance version.
Yeah, I mean, it has that vibe to it. Sorry, just
a militant a cappella group banding together towards the evil fascists in support of the orange ban.
Yeah, it has very like, vibes
Yeah.
to this whole thing. Viva la resistance! All right. On the 26th, Wagner posted a video on his Instagram account that showed a pickup truck rolling up to a crowd. Wagner got out of the truck and asked, "Who needs a gas mask?" and then pulled out a bag of gas masks and passed them out. Wagner also passed out shields, stating, "The shields and shit in the truck is free to grab." The video is captioned, "Power to the people, hashtag Minneapolis, hashtag Antifa, hashtag IYKYK. If you know what?
You know.
If you know, you know.
You know, you know.
Yeah, hashtag.
Go get your wife. She could translate some of this for you.
Yeah, I need some. I need some. I don't even know how boomery am I these days. I guess I need some Gen Z help. Where's Gen Z attorney when I need him? I'm
a millennial. I'm 35. So
yeah, I'm like a geriatric millennial. So
yeah,
I'm not much help here. Okay, on the 27th, Wagner sent another signal message to someone named Bear.
That's not homosexually denoted.
It's very homosexual.
Bear BB.
No, that's
right.
not
bear
that
bottom.
kind of yeah,
bottom bear.
No, like bears and otters, like it's a whole gay thing. So,
Sean, would you say you're a bear or an otter?
I'm neither.
Oh, I thought I got you with my iron logical trap there.
For that,
I thought I had him. I thought I had him, gang.
I cannot imagine any man being comfortable with being called a bear or an otter. It's just so cringe.
Get good, Ryan. You're not good enough yet, son.
Chat says Sean is a platypus, which
Platypus.
Yeah. Okay, so he's going to go on a mission to Wisconsin to obtain fireworks, and then he'll be in the streets for the rest of the day.
Now, keep in mind when they use fireworks, they're using these improvised improvised bombs. So, like, if you've ever seen it where they shoot the fireworks and that are like they're called mortars. They got the little when you shoot them at night, they're like, and they're the cool ones when you see them. They're also the ones that if you're setting them off and they blow up, they can kill you because they're like little bombs.
Mm-hmm.
And they're launching those into the ice groups, and they'll go off. It's an incendiary device. It causes burns. I've used them before and had them. You set one off on the 4th of July and it goes off 10 feet off the ground and you can't hear it for 2 or 3 days straight. They're very dangerous. Like they're mini bombs and they use them for that purpose. So they're using all this stuff as improvised explosive weapons that they're not illegal to have. And that's why they use them.
But they do make clear here, Sean, that they're going to welcome back Homan, Tom Homan, properly. I need some black bloc kids.
Black bloc is the actual the very militant versions of Antifa.
Oh, okay.
They're normally known as black bloc as like black BLOC, but black bloc is like the really violent core of Antifa.
So
they're the ones who do like the all black everything, and they come roll up and they start fighting.
So we need the black bloc kids, the really militant ones, to give Homan a proper welcome. Just picked up some party favors, referring, I would imagine, to his fireworks. Looking for some real ones. Same people, we need to start targeting ICE convoys with more direct interventions. The signal user Bear stated, "What exactly do you think your part is?" Wagner replied, "Easy target. Draw attention and distract and occupy them so they don't target the mutual aid or community of watchers. Give them a face to hate so they aren't focused on the real movement behind the scenes. I'm a spectacle, a punchable face and loud mouth, and everything they hate." That seems very self-aware.
He's pretty annoying from what I've read so far.
Yes.
On the 27th.
Great self-report.
Yeah. He stated, he had another post. "I'm Kyle. I'm Antifa. Welcome to Minneapolis. Got rid of Bavino yesterday. Also sent a lot of ICE agents packing. It's working, people. The pressure is getting results." And on the 27th, Sate, Kennedy, Vanderwater, Davis, Applin, Thorson, Kim, Robinette, Mistrick, and Davis, and How do you guys think we pronounce that? Beisel?
Beisel.
Beisel?
Probably
Yeah,
Deutscher.
Beisel.
Yeah. They attended an after-action meeting held at the Democratic Socialists of America office. Of course.
Yes, more communists.
Of course.
More communists.
About the 23rd, the blockade on the 23rd, members of the BCWC, TCDA, and the Democratic Socialists of America attended the meeting. Sant and Davis led the meeting. Sant collected participants' cell phones, smartwatches, and other electronic devices and placed them in a plastic bin. Gotta have that operational security.
Yep.
During the meeting, they broke into 6 groups: marshals, medics, hard blockade, soft blockade, jail support, and propaganda communications. Nice that they label it propaganda. That's helpful.
Well, that's what it's agitprop. Yeah, no, they acknowledge their goal. Those are the people out there getting, oh no, look, they sprayed it and I get milk poured in my eyes. That's all, it's all staged.
Yeah.
All staged.
Chat's pointing out that they put it in a plastic bin, but they didn't say it was a Faraday cage. So that actually could have been fairly useless. But
Yep.
Okay, at the meeting, Sant and Robinette admitted to taking part in the soft blockade at the Whipple building. Kennedy and Mistrick discussed their involvement in the hard blockade around the Whipple building. Davis and Sant identified themselves as members of the BCWC. During the meeting, Davis said, "We're anarchists." Sant stated, "One thing we in Black Cat are going to be doing in the next 2 or 3 weeks is calling for some sort of regroupment meeting for revolutionary anarchists in the Twin Cities." Yeah, there's not enough revolutionary anarchists. We got to import some extras.
Why not?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I said why not? It can't hurt. They need all the help they can get for this type of operation.
You got to have your friends with you, comrade to comrade.
I just love how they try to. I'm a Democratic Socialist. I'm a revolutionary communist. I'm an anarchist. You all look the same to me, guys. Sorry.
There's Marxist feminists. Did you know that? There's literal intersectional Marxist feminists.
They can all face the wall.
Do you think they did a land acknowledgement at the beginning of the meeting?
Yeah,
I hope so. They have to, right?
I think that's important. That's part of it.
Yeah.
All right, so they do. Okay, so they discuss the participants had broken into groups. In order to learn from our direct actions, we absolutely must analyze them and learn from them afterwards. On the 30th, Kenny posted on Facebook, "It's really encouraging to see tens of thousands still in the streets to protest in Minneapolis. I want y'all to realize, though, that if we had those numbers down at the Whipple building today, we could shut down most of ICE's operations in the state and actually have protected our people for at least a day today. We need to focus our energy strategically to maximize disruption of ICE and minimize our own losses in people and materials. It takes a lot less to block 3 entrances into the federal building than a 75K march. Oh, yes, we got to be efficient with our criminal actions. We need to physically shut them the fuck down. I encourage you all to think about how to physically stop ICE, disrupt their logistics, or otherwise directly impede them in your own life, and find the courage to escalate your tactics to something more confrontational."
It's like Mad Men, but it's counterinsurgency themed. Come back with an idea on Monday.
Yeah, so when they get all these into evidence, I guess these are all going to be, I'm trying to think like hearsay wise, these are all going to be either admitted. So sorry, chat, I'm doing a lawyer thing. It's sometimes tough to admit out of court statements into evidence because it's hearsay. These would be admitted either not for the truth of their statement, but merely for the fact that he said them.
It's their own statements. So this, all these people, it's their own statements.
Or opponent admission,
Yeah, and they might say, well, then you can't try them all together and you have to separate all these people out. Okay, fine, but it sounds like they've got enough of their own comments going together.
So
although the feds might say we have to try them together because they were all in a conspiracy.
So to unpack what Sean just said, because it's a little bit legally complicated, you can't bring in hearsay, which is out-of-court statements offered for the truth of the statement generally. There's a bunch of exceptions. You can bring them in as party opponent admissions. Like if somebody...
one of the biggest ones is if I'm prosecuting Ryan and Ryan made an admission to somebody, or he left a voicemail or a text message. Well, yeah, that's a statement from out of court being used to prove the truth of the matter asserted. I did this. Well, your own statements can be used against you because you have the right to come in and say, no, that's not what I meant.
But if you're trying all these defendants together, then clever defense attorneys will say it's prejudicial to my client to admit that hearsay evidence because it's going to make my client look guilty. So then the next move, like, because with lawyers, you kind of think about it like in terms of flow charts.
Chess game.
Yeah, Sean has the opening move. The next move down the line, which is what I was describing, is you would say, no, judge, we're not offering this hearsay for the truth of what was asserted. We're offering it merely to show that it was said.
Yes.
Because what was said is useful, not because it's true, but because it tends to show what was being communicated by these people at that time.
And they're also effect on the hearer, statements against interest. And then there's also issues for the defense. They could argue, well, we can't try them together then. And if you can't try them together, the statements of Vandewater Davis can't be used in Kennedy's trial because Vandewater Davis isn't there. And if they try to bring her in, she could assert her Fifth Amendment right and shut up. So they might start offering deals to these people. And in these situations, they're going to talk to somebody who could testify against everybody. The other thing that they'll try to do is the defense will say these guys will start turning on each other. It's called a Bruton issue, Bruton. And that's a case where if everybody's sitting there at the defense table pointing at each other saying, no, it was him. Well, I can say, I can point to Ryan and say, no, it was his fault. And I can go up and testify to that. Well, now I'm forcing Ryan, to confront me. Well, he has to testify now. And it becomes in a clash of the Fifth and Sixth Amendment. So they might try to separate him out that way. But seeing how the Texas Antifa cell got prosecuted altogether, I don't know if that's going to work for him.
Yeah. So these are the kind of like, people wonder, why does it take so long to bring people to trial? And the reason is the lawyers are fighting over this stuff. Like, can we put this in evidence? If we put it in evidence, does that mean we need to have 2 trials? Do we need to separate the defendants out? All these issues, well, all of them, but a large portion of them will get litigated in, motions in limine or other pretrial action. And that can just take a long time. So I wouldn't expect this trial to be around the corner. This is a complicated fact pattern with a lot of defendants. There's a lot of issues here that are worth litigating. Holy zero folks. We got follow the smart lady, and you can follow AVG at her link. And then we've got follow the sandwich man with Sean's link. So thank you, Zero Fox, for your color commentary and links. But yeah, please like and support the streamers. Make sure you subscribe to their channels. It's very nice of them to come by and lend their expertise as we work our way through this dramatic reading of the indictment of Antifa members. So we're now in February. At 3 p.m., Kennedy and Davis and other conspirators attended a group meeting sponsored by TCDA's propaganda and communications team, well named. Kennedy discussed TCDA's finances. Kennedy stated that TCDA raised approximately $5,000 in preparation for the January 23rd, 26th action at the Whipple building. Kennedy wanted to use funds to stockpile materials to assist with other organizations, but he wanted the focus of the meeting to be aiding TCDA. Kennedy explained, these people who are taking, the high risk to shut down ICE operations and make everything safer for everybody, they're not getting funded. And so the purpose in my head for this funding is to give to these frontliners and not this group. The idea of also being that we stockpile materials for other groups that can provide training. Wait, this is an in-person meeting?
Or yes, this is a communism grant. They're like, comrades, let's take our money we're getting. I wish to propose, my grant proposal is we're going to fund equipment for our little insurgency.
So how are they getting the direct quote?
Somebody was there.
Probably the
also remember these things are tattletale. Like, these things are working even when you're not.
Okay, so
or even better, somebody sitting there with a parabolic mic. Any number of ways. Of ways.
So they either have
these guys were not meeting covertly; they were meeting pretty much out in the open, too. I think.
Yeah, so they've either bugged. They've got they bugged the phones. They've got a mic, or they've got
surveillance of some sort.
Yeah. Because you just to state the obvious for chat, you wouldn't put a quote into the indictment unless you were very sure this was said, right? You would just paraphrase. Yeah. But
because if I had this quote, that's now something and that doesn't show up anywhere at trial. why was this mentioned and never used?
Exactly.
That looks very bad.
I've had that happen
impact the
before.
entire trial.
I've had that happen before. We're like, to wit, and then I'm like, you guys never mentioned the to wit thing, huh? That kind of funny.
Kennedy stated, "Hi, my name's Cam. I'm now Olive Knight in the chat. I'm a revolutionary anarchist. I've more or less traveled around the country doing various types of struggles since I was 15. I've got fairly extensive experience with how to specifically coordinate propaganda with effective direct action to help supply materially." I mean, that's helpful to know.
Meaning I've got the hook up to all these groups and I can get the money flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
At the meeting, Kennedy discussed, "We are on the precipices of real political power that is completely goes over both political parties."
Should have, seriously, drone strike these people the next time it happens. I'm serious. These people are insane.
Kennedy discussed living in Minneapolis' Cedar neighborhood. He stated that they are operating a blockade on his street that stops ICE vehicles. Why did he say his name was Cam?
Because that's how hello, comrades. My name is Cam. Hi, Cam. I too am a communist.
It's like an AA meeting.
Yes.
And also because he's referring to himself as Olive Knight, they're on. So he's like, this is my actual name, just for the record. But
instead of my cringe name you see me as online.
Now, Sean,
think about how goofy that is when you have to use your name that way.
I've noticed that this Kennedy fellow is a big fan of gas masks, which you have. And what color night was he?
Olive.
And what color shirt are you wearing?
Olive. And also
the cards are adding up.
Well, it's my gas mask bag. Olive.
We're closing in on you, Sean.
Yes. Antifa, I think it's more of a sage. I think it's more of a sage. I'm gonna take Sean's side here. I think it's more of a sage.
Hey, you know what? The best killer of communist throughout history has been other communists. So,
AVG, it is so like you as the average female debater in the room
Gary,
to correct us on our color commentary, because
am I woman-splaining you guys on color?
It's millennial green.
Yeah, I gotta say saying olive instead of green was already taking me out of my wheelhouse.
Right. And I just
didn't realize that was
over the edge.
Hey, AVG, you know that, right? Millennial green is a thing.
I know millennial pink.
Well, apparently millennial green is a thing, and I was talking to my fiance when we were getting ready to move, and I mentioned I love how this I still love the green, and she's like, it's a whole thing about millennials painting stuff not at gray but green now, and I'm like, oh my god, she's right, it is a thing.
Well, yeah, green's not my color. I'm a lilac and black girl. Those are my two favorite colors for clothing and interiors, and gray, light gray, white, that kind of stuff.
Gray's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Sean's a tropical man now. He's got a.
But my hair is gray, so that works.
Yeah.
Where's the Tommy Bahama shirts?
Where is the Tommy Bahama shirts?
You have to cut those out of a boat sale for me.
Where's the Tommy Bahama boat sale?
Although I'm in Florida, so there's a lot of boat sales around, so maybe we can do that.
I was gonna say, I feel like they gotta have those down there. All right. So Wagner wears his I'm Antifa sweatshirt and his, I'm Antifa gear because he wants to make it very clear he's an Antifa. Okay, then on the 5th, Kennedy posted, "I swear I'm going to lose my fucking mind if I see that 3.5% of the population is committed to peaceful revolution. They win bullshit. It's given far too many well-meaning people a fake idea of what it takes to win. It has folks attacking militant elements of the resistance and aiding the state against them because they think violence or even property destruction is counter-revolutionary. They could not be more wrong. I want to make this as clear as I can. You will never win with nonviolence alone, in all caps. Ever. No one has, no one will. You absolutely need militants to win. I'm sorry the world is so cruel, but this is the real world, not a fucking fairy tale." So this is going to be front and center when they do jury presentation. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What did you mean by this?
It was a mostly peaceful protest. That's what he meant by it. Yeah.
Do you normally use these words when you use these words when you try and organize?
I'm just
multiple
fooling
peaceful
about.
protests?
I mean, it's just an utterance, Sean. Words could mean
Yeah.
anything, right? I have
It's just like
proprietary
Tombstone.
definitions.
I was fooling about. I wasn't.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's good line. I should watch that movie again. On or about February 5th, Kennedy posted on Facebook about recent property destruction at the Eugene Federal Building in Oregon, stating, "Huge props to Eugene for breaking enough shit to actually shut down the Fed building. Property destruction clearly won the day here, and we should all take notice. Fuck these dumb fuck pacifists. They aren't comrades, they are allies of the state."
Wow, they
I'm
took
s-
it even further,
Well,
Sean, than centrists.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, well, you guys, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but even in back like in Portland, for example, they kept on saying like Dems get the liberals get the bullet too. Like these people, like literally everybody to the right of them is everybody gets it. Like these people are dangerous.
I mean, he's gone out of his way to make it as clear as possible that he thinks violence is the solution.
Yeah.
All right. So then on February 6th, near Cedar Avenue in Minneapolis, Sant drove a red Subaru and followed ICE vehicles that were driven by federal immigration. Subaru. Federal immigration officers stopped the Subaru and warned Sant that they were engaged in official duties and that any interference would constitute a violation of federal law. Despite the warning, Sant continued to follow the immigration officers' vehicles and impeded the transport of the detained individual. They didn't give a lot of detail about how he impeded.
That one might be a little tough there, but they'll have to discuss this a little more. Let's see what they say.
Yeah, because if all you do is follow, I don't think that's going to qualify as impeding. If you're just following.
Just stalking, but...
Yeah, it could be part of like the stalking or the conspiracy or the information gathering or logistic support, but just following would not be impeding by itself.
No.
Okay, on February 7th, Doyle loaded shields into the back of his Dodge Ram. Okay, so we have another blockade coming. On February 7th at 11:30, Davis and others attended a rally, Defend Our Community from ICE and Fascists, which was hosted by the Black Cat Workers Collective and another Antifa organization. Numerous attendees wore Antifa-branded sweatshirts. A BCWC member stated that their security was armed and ready to deal with any armed counter-protesters that showed up. On February 11th at approximately 3:04, Sant sent a message in the TCDA signal group chat stating, Black Cat is part of the coalition putting on this week of action. I want to make a proposal for TCDA to get involved too. Specifically, I'd like us to take responsibility for an action at a certain corporate target, something during the week. We'll say more at the meeting. And then on the 12th at 11:16, Sant sent a message in the TCDA signal group chat stating, even a huge drawdown to 300 agents will still leave us in the same shoes we were in December. There were 40 ICE/ERO field agents doing raids before the invasion. Anything more than that is bullshit. We have to keep going. And February 12th at around 2:23 p.m., Davis sent a message in the TCDA signal group chat stating, hey, all, I'm really excited that we're going to have our next TCDA meeting tomorrow night. The discussed drawdown will likely have a diminishing effect on many of those who have become active in the last couple of months. That would be a tragedy. The amount of self-organization we have seen is impressive. It should not be lost but preserved. The revolutionary potential of our organizations, if continued and allowed to grow and experience in militancy, should not be underestimated. Yeah, if ICE stops, flooding the zone and enforcing in the area, that shouldn't stop the revolution. Why would we let that stop us? We should just keep going. Okay, on the 12th, Robnet and other unindicted co-conspirators attended a virtual meeting sponsored by the TCDA. At the meeting, Robnet discussed having sharpshooters on the roof on the parking ramp across the street from a prior TCDA meeting. Robnet noted, I don't think that's relevant. We don't need to do that this time. We just had no idea what to expect. And that's awesome because that was the most boring job I've ever had in my entire fucking life. So they had sharpshooters in a prior event, and they don't think they need them this time. Is what he's saying?
I think some of that's bullshit because if you started having armed men with rifles up somewhere, that would have escalated things so goddamn fast.
Yeah,
you would have had like an FBI tactical team on response. And also, not gonna lie, like if you had armed men that were showing up, like and somebody sitting there with their thermal, and they just see a guy sitting there with you might get fucking smoked doing that. Like when people see the videos of the Bundy Ranch back, years ago, and there's that one guy propped up on the highway bridge, and he's sitting there with his rifle. He's lucky some police sniper didn't just smoke him. Because you are playing at a very, very advanced level against people who will operate with a hair trigger. So I think there's a lot of shit talking, honestly.
Yeah, and if it's true, I wonder if that's like a anti-ICE thing or if that's like an anti-counter-protester thing. Like
that's more of a they think they're gonna have people there with guns to say, you aren't gonna kill none of us, whether you're some chuddy right-wingers or you're Antifa, or I'm sorry, you're ICE. You're not gonna kill nobody because we got people with guns here now too. So they think like the idea is if they know we have guns, they'll cool it.
Wow, it does sound like they were just talking shit. Because if you organize that once, I don't know why you wouldn't organize it again.
Well, yeah, if you're going to have Overwatch and supporting units, yeah, you would. If you don't use them all the time, you don't gain the ability, the deterrent of that. Like if you have the armed units there to play pickup, they should be there every time.
Okay, so February 13th, this gang goes to a meeting sponsored for.
Also, you wouldn't do shit like have them on the roof. You do things where like. They're posted up in the back of a minivan with like the window that's been put down or a bunch of different ways. Like you don't just put people up like situated around on buildings. That's what the cops do. Like you guys aren't the cops. You have to do the dirty Taliban and IRA style shit. So
Sean, they're renting the van every time. That adds up. You can't, who's going to pay the U-Haul cost, Sean? You?
Well, I mean, half these people own cars with just, DC sniper it. Like you just shoot out the back of your trunk and pull your trunk. Like there's ways you can do this. It's not hard. Yeah, somebody in my bottom says you got to do a Malvo. Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole book on this.
Why is your chat giving them helpful hints?
Well, it's once again, it's not giving them helpful hints. It's fieldcraft and tips and techniques for the natural law viewer or the potentially criminal viewer or the average female debater. Yeah, she's kind of just taken off here, but hold on, I'll grab the books. We'll
something for everybody, apparently.
Yeah, no, hold on here. I'll be right back.
Sean just went to his Subaru. All right. Well,
people are teasing about the Subaru in chat. I see.
Okay. So they had a group meeting. They discussed whether TCDA would be narrowly focused on anti-ICE activities or would have a broader focus on being anti-regime. Davis concluded, we'll be broadly anti-authoritarian. And good for us, they're going to be broadly anti-capitalist.
Phew. Wouldn't want them to tarnish the good name of Antifa,
I'm glad, Sean, that you have the correct military manuals. That's helpful.
Yeah, this is good one. This one actually talks about a lot about the IRA. Very, very effective. And it's not a bad book either. David Kilcullen. This guy was an advisor to David Petraeus. So.
Oh, Sean. Is that a law office or a war room you've got behind you?
A little bit of both. A lot of famous people starting problems in history were lawyers.
That's
true.
Yeah. Okay, so after the meeting, they collected the cell phones. At the meeting,
that was actually a good idea.
Yeah. Sant stated that he had just come from a meeting with organizers from Minnesota 50501.
But that tells you somebody was taking notes.
Is this a union?
5501. I might be of some sort.
Yeah. He stated that those groups wanted to do a march from Fort Snelling to the Whipple building on March 1st and requested the assistance of TCDA in organizing a blockade at the eastern entrance at Gate 3.
It's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit?
Yeah, it's an American progressive grassroots political movement founded to organize the 50501 protests against policies and actions of the second Donald Trump term.
Ah, okay.
So
Grassroots, of course.
Grassroots.
Yeah, still grassroots.
Yeah. Okay, so then
Much
on
raspberry root.
on February 13th, Vandy Water Davis sent a message in the TCA signal chat stating to these people, please add this to group discussion for convenience. Our next is Tuesday, February 16th. They add these people, notes, Smokeathontis. Is that the screen name is Smokeathontis?
That's pretty funny.
Pocahontas?
I think
like
that's funny.
Pocahontas, but Smokeathontis.
Like I said, they're losers who smoke marijuana. They smoke weed all day.
AVG. I've accused Sean of being a member. I just want to ask you directly. Tell me the truth. Are you Smokeathontis?
Are you asking me or her?
I'm asking AVG. I feel like Sean, I know you're not.
Am I Smokeathontis?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I don't mess with the devil's lettuce. Come on. And I don't smoke cigarettes. So
that's like the greatest.
It's okay to
name
see
I've
like
heard in a long time.
cabbage here.
Smokeathontis. Jesus. All right. All right.
It's a base name. I like.
I have
it. It's
no
funny.
indigenous heritage, so that would be kind of a weird name for me.
They would. Oh God, you would probably go to prison
white
for that up
people.
there.
Yeah, in Canada, you can't make that joke. I would bet you every dollar in my pocket that Smokeathontis has no indigenous heritage, by the way. That's a white woman. Guaranteed. But
it's Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth
FDNY. That's hilarious.
I can picture that. I can picture her, like wearing like a tie-dye bandana and stuff at like a little lounge area where they're all hanging out together, being degens, and I could see her there.
She got mad about the nickname Trump gave her, and now she's just leaning into it.
What's the nickname that he gave her again?
Trump does call Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas.
Oh, that's the joke.
Yeah.
Mom.
So on February 13th, Doyle sent an attachment titled Working Group Structure Draft in the Signal group chat. Vanderwaver sent a message in the TCA Signal group chat stating, people who would like to be part of the March 1st Whipple Project group, please flag react to this message. Thank you. On the 14th, Applin sent a message in the chat stating, hey, y'all, I just hung out with an anarchist visiting from the Bay Area who is here with a comrade to help learn from us if she can. Doing a lot of anti-ICE stuff out there and very knowledgeable. I just met her, but a close comrade from CA Black Rose Anarchist Federation, introduced her as highly trusted. She's here for like 10 days or something, staying in Whittier, and wants to help with whatever she can. She mentioned a particular interest in patrolling ICE with cars. Anyway, please DM me if you want to meet, plug her into anything. She said to share her name, Mary? Okay. Marie. I was hoping like for a better handle than that. Anyway. Doyle responded, get her to the Workers' Assembly tomorrow for sure, and posted a flyer titled, Workers' Assembly to defeat ICE and plan the next mass strike. Yeah, this is very... it's interesting. I guess I should have assumed that this was like a commie thing, but like Sean was like, yeah, they're all commies, and like they are in fact all commies. Like this is very, very anti-capitalist. Very.
Yes, where's the lie?
Yeah, Sean was proven right.
Like
Okay.
The shock of that.
He's the expert, I think, on the panel about this stuff. At least he seems to be. I don't know if he's just like a award-winning actor about it, or he seems to be very confident in his insurgency skills. So
Sean has equal parts legal acumen and expertise in the deep, dark corners of the internet.
Wait, who is asking if I know a lot of things. Like, obviously, look at me. I'm not going to be running around leading a revolution, but it doesn't take, it's good to know this stuff. It's fun.
For the apocalypse, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, the same way I've got philosophy books on my bookshelf, Sean's got guerrilla tactics books on his. Okay, so they have they posted screenshots of notes from the meeting. One screenshot was titled Draft Working Group Structure and listed the following roles: vetting, oversight, medic, shield, logistics, resources, information security, and security. On the 15th, they attended a meeting held by the labor the Unified Labor Center building in Minneapolis, and sponsored by TCDA, BCWC, the Ray Rainbolt Memorial Shooting Club, Socialist Alternative, and other organizations. RoadNet wore a Ray Rainbolt hat and served on the special security team for the event. The group discussed medical, firearms, and hard security training. Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds very peaceful. And they began planning a March 1st direct action at the Whipple Center building. Sant proposed organizing another blockade at the east entrance. On February 16th, Vanderway Davis sent a message to the CTA group chat signaling, "This chat is being closed for the next 24 hours. We have concluded the initial vetting process and will be creating a new group chat with all vetted members. If you do not respond to a member of the vetting team by this time, you will not be added to the new group. You can still be added. You just need to complete the process. If you have questions, please DM the vetting team member you've been working with. Once the new chat is up, the chat will be renamed Leave and Delete. Please leave the group promptly and delete it from your message history. Don't forget to request to be added to the new group chat before leaving this one, gang." Vanderways Davis sent a link to the new group chat, which was renamed TCDA2. Boy, they really thought that this was all deleted and gone, huh?
Well, the thing is, if you don't own, the problem is if you're in these groups, even if you're deleting stuff as you go, if somebody's sitting there hoovering up all the data, it's going to be gone. It's not gone. And then the other thing is too, Signal says they don't, but we see so much crap now coming out of Signal, all these things happening. There obviously is some sort of backdoor somewhere. And unless you've created your own communications grid and network, it's compromised already. No matter what you're using, it's compromised. And you have to operate as though it's compromised. That's why when you're doing your comms, you need your your white, your black, and your red comms. You should be prepared, and have different stages of this. But these guys were acting like they were fucking 007 here. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Shouldn't they be using analog and code words and radio stations?
No, there's ways you can get around that. Kind of if you're using ham radio, you're not allowed to do it encrypted. But if you use ham radio, that's hard to the biggest thing is when it comes down to communications, you should assume your communications are going to get discovered at some point. It's about how long you can avoid being discovered and compromised. So you generally have layers of communications and chat. Go listen to Joe Dolio over at Tactical Wisdom and Etsy Brushbeater. They're better at this than I am. But you have levels of comms. So you have your white site comms, which are the ones you use every day and you'll use in a bigger area. Those are going to get exposed. Great. Then you have your black comms, which are a step down, and those are a little more harder to get. And then you have your red comms, and you only use those when it's game time. You have to stagger them out, and if you never use it, nobody knows it exists. But as you use them, you need to be prepared. You're always consistently building new communications networks, just switching out signals once in a while. But this is the problem when you get too big. It's hard to control. And you can put out there, if you had special, I'm going to give out cipher pads to people and things like that. It's kind of like the Enigma machines of World War II. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you could do, but you had to use Heil Hitler at the end of everything. So they figured out how to break the codes. But also, when you're spooling it up, you would get guys who were doing it who were really fucking lazy. And they would use the same number sets every time because that's what they did. That's how people are. We are inherently lazy when it comes to this stuff. So your networks are always going to get exposed. They're always going to be compromised. You need to operate that way. And these guys did not at all.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting. When this goes to trial, we'll probably learn if this is an informant who turned over the chats, or if they had somebody if they had an undercover who was involved, or if they were using subpoenas on ISPs, or forcing the companies to turn over records. There's a bunch of ways that they could have gotten these chat messages.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that you need these guys, work on your comm security chat. So, just saying. Oh, Ryan, you got raided by somebody.
There's a disclaimer in there somewhere.
I like mine. Who'd I get raided by?
I got a raid from Go Tyler TV.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
Go Tyler TV.
You wanted a disclaimer? If you live in Canada, this is all just talk. Don't worry about it. If you're in America, take notes. There.
I didn't see the raid, so I don't know who if I got raided by someone, but maybe that was AVG's raid. If I got raided and just like fucking didn't see it, can one of my mods let me know so that I can be appreciative of the support? But yeah, we got excellent viewership tonight, gang. It was AVG's raid, awesome. Well deserved AVG.
Thank you.
And please do like, subscribe, and make sure to support AVG and potentially Criminal Sean as we work through this peaceful and innocuous document.
And if you don't know already, my viewers, be sure to follow Ryan. He does some amazing commentary, and I'm soon realizing that Sean is also an amazing guy to follow. Both talented men.
You don't have to say that. I appreciate it, but you don't have to say that.
We have different flavors. Let's say different flavors of sandwich, so everyone gets a bite.
I was gonna make an ice cream comparison. One is mint chocolate chip, and the other one is Rocky Road.
No comments on which one's which.
Exactly.
Yeah. One's mint chocolate chip, and the other's IED flavored. Signal group chat stating from Noob Vanderway Davis, hey everybody, here's the link for a week of action site for everyone's reference, meltice.com. So creative. Proposed a meeting yesterday, support the upcoming March 1st protest at Whipple with a hard blockade element. And we decided to strike this project group to make that happen. One thing I think will be important to start is getting additional delegates into the next General Week of Action meeting. Ike Sant was at the most recent one, which was also yesterday, but it will be beneficial to have a couple of people who can coordinate. And on
just throw him under the bus.
Yeah, fuck that Ike guy.
Well, I love how they're like, we're gonna have delegates at a revolution meeting.
Well, that's real helpful when you're trying to prove conspiracy, where they're like, we had a conspiracy meeting. It's going to be like all delegates.
It's like the DSA convention. Please stop using gendered language. I have sensitivity issues.
In Canada, it's so much worse. They had at the New Democratic Party convention, they had points of privilege cards. Like everybody would come forward with their privilege card, and they had to be given an opportunity to speak in order of privilege. It was insane.
It's everybody's throwing down reversal cards. It sounds like.
I love how every time anyone from the UK or Canada tells me anything about their country, it just pushes me further right. Like it's every conversation.
I love the right wing. So that's great. I'm gonna have to put this stream members only. We've said so many things.
Okay. So then on the 17th, they attended a TCDA meeting at Pleasant Avenue in St. Paul. Bessel organized the stream. Okay. They discussed de-arrest and swarm training because it's definitely legal for them to swarm ICE officers and de-arrest people. Don't do that, gang. That sounds like it violates 18 USC 111. Okay, so Thorson moderated the meeting. Thorson identified as a BCWC member and discussed old and new business. Old business topics included TCDA structure, organization, vetting process. New business topics included the March 1st direct action at the Whipple building, where the group planned to utilize a soft blockade and a hard blockade. Okay, they did the vetting process. They recommended that they open a bank account. Because it allows customers to have multiple debit cards on one account, so they have some kind of
money pools.
That's useful.
I wonder if the SPLC was behind that.
Yeah, I do wonder if they opened that bank account, if we could figure out who's on it. Right.
That's not incriminating at all.
No. Okay. So Sant discussed blocking the Minnehaha Avenue as they had during the direct action of the Whipple building. Stewart suggested a soft blockade with shields. Davis and Sant discussed the Red Pine Collective as overseeing direct action at the Whipple building on the March 1st. Individuals associated with the Red Pine Collective requested that TCDA coordinate a hard blockade. Okay, and now notice there's no quotes here. So they don't have surveillance or direct quotes at this. They know what happened at the meeting, but they don't have quote. So just to show you guys that there's, they had some kind of surveillance or something in the previous meeting. This one, they have some witness testimony, but not anything rising to the level of a direct quote. Okay, so then they set up the WHIP 301 signal group chat, stating the basic plan for 301 is as follows. Rally at 9 a.m. at the Whiskey and Horse gravesite at Fort Snelling. The rally will then take the street and walk under the freeway to Whipple. There'll be more focused meeting to hash out further details at 4:30 p.m. No location yet. Okay, they have more meetings where they're organizing. I can read these verbatim if you guys want, but this sounds like it's going to be a bunch of organizational stuff in a row.
Yeah, it's a lengthy indictment too. So
yeah, okay, so we can skim ahead till we get
blah blah blah. Workers' paradise. Blah blah blah. Hammer and sickle. Blah blah blah. Capitalism bad. Blah blah blah.
Viva la resistance.
We got it.
Okay. So this is about the bank account. This might be interesting. So on February 18th, they sent a message. I want to get a proposal on public fundraising set up for the next meeting. We're going to need at least one person to volunteer to open a bank account or use an existing one. Ideally, one that will issue multiple cards. TrueStone was recommended. That will connect to a payment service that connects to Open Collective. The person using the bank account is kind of a de facto treasurer. This role will have some level of risk. Yes, it would. Okay. And then the next day, the same day, they sent another message. I'm watching Whipple this morning. Looks like National Guard is in 2 Humvees near base camp on Airport Service Road, but not in the South Lot. 2 sheriff cars near light rail. I posted up very close to 62 East on-ramp. Okay, so they're surveilling the building. They sent a message that same day summarizing the vetting process for their new group. They'll draft a code of conduct to send to prospective members. TCDA will author a set of organizing principles to serve as a metric for those who to recruit admit to the organization. Vetting team will be sized accordingly to workload. Members of the vetting team will volunteer, but their service on the vetting team must be approved by TCDA. They have to be 3 members for 3 months. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so they're getting organized.
Not some bad ideas there, but yeah.
Oh, how so?
I mean, trying to vet like people who have been in the group longer, it ensures you have people who are actually involved. You're trying to get people, if they're going to be involved in the stuff, like show your dedication getting into this. Like, it's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
Okay. So God, this is only the 19th. This is for the first. Jesus.
Dude, they were busy all winter long.
The only thing is, like, they were very busy, and their entire signal chat got leaked. Like, they've got the entire signal chat is with the feds now. Okay, so they have a big purchase planned. They're looking to raise
$10,000. Engaging in capitalism.
What are they going to do with $10,000?
Why are they engaging in capitalism and asking people for money?
Well, Sean, they're just going to have a raffle. They're just going to have a raffle.
It's a raffle. Have you ever talked to a communist who ever asked them, like in a debate or some other context, how does a society succeed without capital? Like, what's the motivating factor? What's the driving factor? And there's like, people are just going to come together. I'm like, okay, name me one society or civilization where that's proven successful. Like, well, this one was basically a communist society. And then I'm like, what are the hallmarks of a communist? They can't define it. They like the buzzword.
They're like, did you know that the ancient Minoans were like, okay, what happened to them?
Where's the written record? Oh, there isn't one because they're an ancient society, huh?
Yeah. Well, what happened to those guys? Well, they're gone. Oh, gee, what happened?
Yeah, it worked out so well for them. All right, so they're basically, as I'm skimming, they're organizing. They're trying to figure out how to set up a GoFundMe. They're sending messages back and forth. They're broadly surveilling the base. They're surveilling airports to look for deportations. They raised $1,200 in reference to a GoFundMe. They had a GoFundMe. I mean, I guess
they did. They rented a U-Haul.
I shouldn't be so disappointed, but I guess you can get if Carmelo Anthony got a GoFundMe, I guess anyone can get a GoFundMe. So, all right. So they're continuing to plot their 3-1. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This looks more interesting. We're going to be somewhat autonomous from the main march. They'll be on Federal coming down from Whiskey Horse, and we'll be holding Minnehaha. We designated a couple of commons people, and we'll coordinate scouts between both sides. We decided 2 scouts on bikes with burners and radios on our side to watch for kettling from the north side of Minnehaha. We'll deploy shields and some other stuff on Minnehaha. Will be more of a soft blockade hybrid. Starting time is looking like 10, and we're going to check in every hour to determine holding the following hour. Are you going to marshal again? Not really sure where I'm fitting in yet, lol. Okay, so they have scouts and bikes, marshals, they have shields, they've raised $2K from the GoFundMe.
And marshals are like, they marshal everybody and coordinate all these groups when they're together.
Yeah. They got more shield training coming. They're planning a de-arrest training. I mean, de-arrest training just is, to be clear, like assaulting, resisting, or impeding officers. Like if you de-arrest somebody, you have, I think by definition, violated 18 USC 111. Like there's just
I would assume it's an impeding action.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AVG.
Oh, no, I was just going to say you're trying to get that person into police custody and eventually get them put through the penal system. And what you're doing by de-arresting them is obstructing that and impeding that process. So, yeah, I would assume it falls within the third branch.
Yes, well, and the naivete thinking you're going to convince the cops to go, oh, no, we're going to let this person go. We're too scared. Like, no, they will not do that. But they think it's going to work.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how detailed this is. Sorry, I'm just like skimming through this, and they have like the entire chat log of these people. So I mean, this is very much looking like they have at least 1 or 2 witnesses that flipped and just gave them their cell phone, and I guess didn't delete the chats they were supposed to delete. That's my best guess, because they have so many block quotes of these people.
But the crazy thing is, what's in this indictment is probably everything that relates to the charges. So it's anything that relates to stalking, anything that relates to impeding officers, anything that relates to destruction of public property, right? All of these things are detailed. So the signal chat must be just crazy long. This is all of these instances, and they all relate to the charges against the 15 indicted. That is nuts. That is a solid case. You would think if all this proves true in court, right?
Well, and this is like, you compare it to some of the other indictments that the DOJ has brought down, which read like they were kind of thin. This is very specific. Like they're very much sending a message like, we have this stuff. I wonder if they're trying to flip other people, because they're like, because if you were part of this chat, you must be flipping out right now. Like if you weren't indicted yet, you've got to wonder whether they're coming for you next.
Yeah, you're holding your Funko Pop collection very tight tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Time to sell your feed pics, you filthy commies.
Well, and here we have the confirmation that this is not organic, right? This is all organized. People come from out of town. Okay. So here on February 24th, they got 20 radios are in, bodyguard earpieces programmed, a printed copy of the radio book. If you want one, thumbs up this message, you come pick one up. They have funding. Okay, so they got 20 radios to coordinate. Okay, they're inviting more people. They have scouts on bikes, as we talked about before. Doyle brought on 25th. He brought 5 shields from the backyard of his residence to help with the soft or hard blockades.
Coordination.
Yeah. Okay.
Real support.
We need numbers. I'm going to be out of town this week to the week of action. Welcome centers and recruiting. He's going to be recruiting out of towners for the action. Okay, so this is Sant is recruiting people to cross state lines to come do this. I think I vetted rapid responders are welcome. Having big numbers is going to make the action safer. If we're too cagey about inviting people, we have small numbers, it'll be more dangerous. I hope everyone here invites a friend, especially because we can't put this one on social media. They can come attend. Okay, so they're just trying to get big numbers. Please share this directly with friends and comrades. So funny that they're worried about operational security for social media, and then all their posts are in the indictment.
Wait, not all their friends are comrades? Like, those people must be so insulted.
Oh my God. Could you imagine being friend with like a centrist Democrat? Pff, ridiculous.
I would never dream of it.
Ridiculous.
I wouldn't even be friends with a Democrat.
Those people don't even probably support violence. They probably just want nonviolent protests, losers.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so Sean, this is your thing. I forgot to mention last night, but I think we could use 5 to 10 traffic cones, 5-gallon pails with lids or big water jugs, and a couple of handheld blowers. So this is all the. I think this is what you were saying before, that the traffic cones are part of the anti-tear gas mechanisms.
Yes.
Okay, and then on the 25th, Vandero's message. At this time, we are primarily looking for people to come be part of the crew, with the understanding that this particular crowd will be having more confrontational character than the main march that will go to the Whipple that day. And the best way to get plugged in supportive roles to join the project group. People who want to marshal on Sunday, please get in touch with Thorson. Sate replied. The main groups we're trying to fill right now are people to be in the blockade, drivers to relay people back and forth their cars to Whipple, and marshals. Yeah, so this is highly, highly organized.
Yeah.
They want more drivers so they can help people get out if it's being blocked. How arrestable do you think the role of exfil is? In my experience, exfil is a lower risk role. The unindicted co-conspirator replied, okay, I've got 2 more for exfil then. Okay, so they're recruiting through this unindicted co-conspirator. So these are like, there's at least 2 or 3 witnesses, it sounds like, that they have. Okay, so they're recruiting. The 3 biggest updates from the meeting with Melt the Ice people. Indigenous March is now planning on staying until 2 p.m., not noon. Indigenous March. Sorry. They can only give us 3 burner phones, and we have to provide our own for the other 2. I have one and will need 1 more. The march has on-site jail support person. They asked if we could have one too. Okay, so they're gearing up. I don't know what a jail support person is.
Is that to de-arrest?
Probably like some sort of jail support, meaning like National Lawyers Guild or somebody who could coordinate all that crap.
Oh, like pro bono counsel to get you out of jail?
Yeah, or people who will communicate with lawyers or something like that. Who knows?
Okay.
That makes sense.
So they've got a walking trail. It's really chill, and you can go up it. It's 30 minutes north. You go to a dog park by the light rail if you're feeling paranoid. Good spots to change and ditch clothes along the way if needed, so they can evade arrest after their... Yeah. Okay, so they're gathering.
These people literally think they're fighting the Gestapo, so yes, they believe that they have to do this stuff.
Okay, so they're getting their shields. This is the day before. I'm trying to get to the actual March 1st events. Oh, wait, this sounds good. Honor about February 27th, they had a shield training at Zion Community Commons. At the shield training, Doyle stated that the shield provides an advantage in situations where you are close to the enemy. Doyle continued, fighting with the fascists rather than just going at them chest to chest with no shields. If you have a shield wall, you're going to be more effective and much more safe than they are. Take your strongest, heaviest, fastest, most aggressive people and put them at the point of that wedge. Have your strongest people pushing through. Sant stated, find 2 scrawny-looking cops and get between. And in that case, somebody just used an umbrella as a wedge. Just parted the 2 cops. So they're expressly saying we're going to use the shields to target law enforcement and push through them.
They should have replaced scrawny with lady.
Yeah, they that would be very sexist of them, and they would never do that. So
no, right?
They're the good people. AVG, they're the good people. You gotta.
Aren't male feminists like the biggest skis balls? They're just like trying to bang as many ladies as they can. I don't know.
Oh yeah. It's the sneaky fucker, right? Where it's like you're definitely it's definitely a technique. It's not, I don't know if it's effective technique, but it's a technique. Okay, then Applin sent a message. If plastic really is better for repelling projectiles, we should look into getting a bunch of flat plastic that we can cut shields out of. Kennedy says, part of what makes the barrel shells a lot better for protecting against projectiles is the curve shape. It deflects impact, whereas flat surfaces just eat the impact. So you can feel the vibration a lot more, and flat surfaces splinter easier. Frankly, I think we'll be doing 98% protecting against projectiles and maybe 2% fending off snitch squads with shields on Sunday. In this recent iteration of struggle, the cops have almost never brought shields of their own and heavily favor projectiles. Okay.
Premeditation, knowledge.
Yep. They lost the vehicle, so they're trying to find another vehicle, and they send some heart emojis. How sweet. Okay, they're posting up. They're telling you where the sheriffs are. Now we're gearing up. It's the day of. They provided a radio to people with a black hat and gray jacket, and Thorson passed out another radio. They pass out goggles and a bullhorn. They have more radios. Okay, so they're organizing all the people. At approximately 9:25, 10 individuals with gas masks and umbrellas. So, Sean, I don't quite get this umbrella thing. You're saying that like the umbrella works as a shield?
It works as a shield. It works as an obscuring device, period. Like if I'm holding it up, you can't see what I'm doing behind it. But also if you're using anything like the pepper balls with the little paintballs with pepper spray in them, it could defeat that. It's just also an obstructing device. Like if you're trying to attack me and the umbrella's open, you know, I find the cops, I can't just like start cutting and waving a knife around because you might hurt people and their job is to protect life and property.
Mm-hmm.
So there are things you can do with it. It's also a weapon. You can hit people with it and strike them with it. Like it's a very effective tool in that regard. It obscures identity. There's a lot of things you can use with it. And yeah, and it's a rudimentary thing. And, you know, they use them to great effect. And once again, it's something I could carry around. And, you know, if I'm walking around with an umbrella, you can't stop me from doing that. It's like if I started walking around with a, you know, especially being a fat guy who had knee surgery, I could walk around with like, you know, a swagger stick made out of oak and crack someone's skull with it, but I also need it to walk around with.
Yeah, it's just your
dual use. Well, I'm just saying it's dual use technology. I mean, it's got a lot of different things they can use. And I mean, umbrellas are great for that. I mean, you know, that was it's a improvise. Well, yeah, just leave it at that.
Yeah. We don't need to get too specific with your plan, Sean. But okay, so this time they unloaded the Czech hedgehogs, which are static obstacles made of metal beams from a blue truck. And let me see if I can.
Yeah. Do you want to see what one looks like?
Yeah. Let me pull up an image of a Czech hedgehog so that we can
Czech
show.
hedgehogs. It's Czech, like Czechoslovakia. That's here. I got.
Oh yeah, that'll mess someone up. Hold on, I got it.
I got one. I beat you. And like, just let me participate.
Okay, all right.
This is a Czech hedgehog.
Hold on, I gotta remove mine from the stage and then add your. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, this is the Czech hedgehog.
That'll fuck a car up.
Well, it'll destroy anything.
Yeah, so you can't drive through that. That's gonna.
No, and I mean, obviously, I don't need to stop a normal vehicle. I don't need one that big or powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's meant to, like, if a tank runs into it, it burrows into the ground, and a tank gets stuck up on top of it, and then it's disabled.
Yeah, for sure.
But yes, they're a very effective weapon.
So when we're talking about like a hard barricade, like there's no way you're getting cars out until you clear the crowd, probably, and then then you have to like demo this stuff. Like this is like
I mean, you don't have to demo, you drag it out of the way. But there were other parts of Minneapolis where they were basically running checkpoints, and they were literally stopping cars, like they were literally doing like open, kind of like on the. They were yes, they were showing up with barricades. They would run up, and it's actually, hold on here. This is actually I show this on my chat more than once here, but this is an actual. Let me see if I can bring this up, and it's a good way.
Weren't they also trying to identify people and accuse them of being ICE agents and all that stuff?
They were doing all kinds of insane
stuff.
Yeah, and well, that's a funny thing. Yes, they were worried about the Gestapo, and they're like, to fight the Gestapo, we must become the Gestapo. But okay, yeah, here we go. This will work. This is part of the military's documented this, and this is the preparation of revolutionary cadres and of masses for revolution. You start doing things where like you read through this and you start seeing things like. At the beginning, low-level stuff, dissatisfaction with political, economic, and administrative things, creation of atmospheres for wider discontent through propaganda, forming favorable public opinion, increased agitation, infiltration by foreign governments, communist agents and agitators, recruitment of fellow travelers and others, penetration in labor unions. You're like, oh, wow, this is starting to sound like I kind of see this. Spreading subversive organizations into all sectors. Establishment of national front organizations. We're kind of like, and here's the thing, a bunch of these things can happen at the same time. Intensification of propaganda. There are sabotage and terror to demonstrate weakness of the government. So yeah, they're doing this. We can operate and look what they can do, and they can't stop us. Increased underground activities to demonstrate the strength of revolutionary organizations. Sapping morale of government administrations, the police, and the military. And, we're kind of like, all this stuff can happen at the same time. And we're kind of like,
yeah, a little bit of a little bit of a "you are here" sign.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but this is how they operate and they do this stuff. So.
Wow. Yeah. Especially, given, I don't know. I've seen some debates recently where people are like, they almost act like the assassination attempts against Trump are like like purely coincidental. They're like, well, people just hate the guy. So like, of course, like, can you prove it was leftists? And you're like, wait, we're just going to let that hang there. We're just saying like, okay, like this guy's getting targeted for assassination constantly. We're going to draw no conclusion from that, I guess. Sure.
Golden Age is saying it takes a sick mind to come up with this pyramid. It's people who can identify what, it's just merely a blueprint of how these guys operate. And this is how, honestly, if you want any political change, obviously we're not, the terror and guerrilla actions, but just in general, this is political grassroots. Like, this is a grassroots movement, how things start. Like, do you want to change things yourself? You got to start saying like, hey, are you dissatisfied with the way things are going? Well, we can work together and do something about that. Now, you may not want to do a bunch of Minecraft stuff, but you might want to do things and vote if you want. But that's how you do this too. I mean, it's the same pattern, it's the same blueprint.
So now we have the hedgehogs deployed on the 1st. They didn't use them on the 23rd, but they used them on the 1st. Okay. So then as we go through the events of the 1st, they have evac drivers, of course, because they need to get people out of there.
And that's because not everybody can park there either. So everybody parks nearby and they bring you over.
Okay. Now, finally, at 10:56, the county sheriff gave multiple dispersal orders. Now, keep in mind, this is like 2 hours in. So they didn't give dispersal orders prior to this, but at about 11, they give the orders. And now individuals start throwing projectiles at the sheriffs and resisting the sheriff's dispersal order. And now at 12:34, an unindicted co-conspirator sent a message in the Signal group chat stating, "Hello all, I'm still missing 2 radios, one with the white tape and the green tape. So glad you made it in and out. I have 4 of your radios in the packages. Where can I drop these off?" Okay. So it seems like they're starting to leave the area if they're trying to return radios.
Where does it say they have 4 radios in the packages? Oh, it sounds like they bought blister pack radios. That's kind of goofy, but okay.
Okay.
They're basically using the radios from Walmart.
Yeah. I mean, of course, they're getting the cheap ones. Okay, so then after their event, they had a debrief. The group noted that law enforcement's response was quick. The group stated that shield deployment took too long and that dropping shields closer to the hard blockade could yield better results. The group also agreed that rental cars and U-Haul cargo carriers could be used as distractions for future actions. Thorson encouraged people to join TCDA and get vetted. And then they sent a message, a note about our trade contractors vehicle in Minnesota. Minnesota law requires electrical contractor vehicles to display the company name and license number on both sides. These markings must be in a contrasting color with characteristics at least 3 inches high and half an inch wide. This could help in distinguishing legit vehicles from bogus ones. An unindicted co-conspirator responded, I'm sorry, how did they possibly think that log wasn't just the most obvious? Okay, so they spotted some what they thought was a cop car.
Yeah.
All right.
And they think, yeah, well, that's the problem, though, because anything that doesn't, it's kind of like in The Departed where that guy's sitting out there saying everybody's a cop.
Mm-hmm.
There's people they attack, like a guy who was filming for the news. There's a pretty good video of it. Like, they harass him and they start attacking him, and he's like, I'm on your side. And they're like, they about beat the shit out of this guy. And it was really bad. He almost got jumped. And these people are very dangerous.
Well, and now what they're talking about here is after so we had the 23rd event, we had the March 1st event. Now we have, to your point, Sean, about them being dangerous. Now they're talking about just what they call shadowing. So they're following law enforcement vehicles, writing down their license plates, following them around town, keeping logs. They have shifts. This guy signed up from 3 to 5, so they have other people working other shifts. That way you can keep following them and run like a dragnet operation.
Yep. Yeah, that's how you do this.
Okay. So, I mean, I can keep scrolling through this, but I'm pretty much ready to give my opinion on whether or not they have a decent case here. I don't know about you guys, if you want to keep scrolling through, or if you've seen enough.
I've seen enough.
Me too.
All right. Well, gang, if you want to see more, there is more. I'm going through fast, but I'm also mindful of the time, and I don't want to keep anyone up, and I have to go to sleep at around midnight, and I do want to look at super chats. But you can see there's a lot more that we didn't cover, but there is quite a lot here. So you can at about, where are we going to go to? Paragraph. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, this just keeps on going, doesn't it?
Yep, it does.
All right. So at paragraph 270, they stopped the factual recitation. And obviously we didn't cover all the facts here. We didn't cover all the facts, so I don't want to claim we did. That said, to me, if you're trying to prove a conspiracy claim, like that there's a conspiracy to impede law enforcement and stalk law enforcement, this seems like they have more than enough evidence.
I mean, you like to think so, but remember, this is the Twin Cities, so I'm still counting on them getting BTFO'd by some, all it takes is one of these goobers to sneak on the jury, and that's it. So,
real risk of jury nullification for sure.
Oh, I think very much so. Just like Don Lemon, all these guys.
But in terms of the facts, like if they just have all these messages, and if they have a couple witnesses, like how do you, like the conspiracy claim? Let's just talk about the conspiracy claim and the stalking claim. That just seems open and shut. Like if you have a conspiracy of people who are using shifts and following around law enforcement vehicles with the express purpose of preventing them from enforcing the law, that seems like kind of open and shut to me. I mean, maybe short of nullification, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Well, they also have details about the operations, right? They know what the ICE officers are doing. They know where they're going. They know the effective ways to block them. This, to me, implies that they have some kind of level of knowledge that would be obtained through stalking, right? It's not like federal agents are just posting in a freaking group chat out there, hey, this is where we're going. This is the route that we're taking. This is the kind of, defense that we're going to be utilizing if we run into issues. So that, to me, is incredibly premeditated, speaks to stalking.
Well, and even to do the license plate thing, you'd have to create, as they described, a database, like a kind of like a quasi DMV of federal vehicles. And then maintain that database and then use it from day to day. So that clearly, in terms of whether there's a conspiracy, there is a conspiracy. The question is whether it's a conspiracy to obstruct. And
I mean, yeah, but all it takes is a spreadsheet, just somebody sitting at home, just send in your things. I'll type them up. I'm helping the cause.
Yeah.
Or somebody sitting at work fucking off doing it.
And I assume part of the stuff that we skipped, just in the interest of time, was them breaking into the FBI vehicle, right? So they're going to, in terms of like...
Yeah, that happened towards the end of this whole fiasco.
Because it strikes me that they're going to, the jury's going to want to hear about like overt criminal actions, to kind of like get around the people who might be inclined to vote to acquit. And there's the hard blockades. I thought especially putting down the Czech hedgehogs, that seems distinctly obstructionist in terms of like, why on earth would you put those down outside of a federal building if not to obstruct law enforcement? What other purpose does it have? And then breaking into the car, that seems overtly, I assume that's the destruction of property charge and, stealing from, federal guns, federal paperwork, logistics, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I understand where Sean's coming from. I think like, obviously if this goes before a Minnesota jury, it's going to be kind of a, probably a crapshoot in terms of the people and how they'll feel about this case. But the appellate process is still available. Right, this case could go up the ladder, so to speak, and there would be no reason for me to think it wouldn't. I think that the government needs to make a demonstration out of these people. We can't just do these types of things under the guise of a peaceful protest. It's very clearly not peaceful, and if we set a standard just in terms of jurisprudence that it makes it even harder to prosecute for future cases, right? So.
Yeah, especially as you were saying this, Zero Fucks now mentioned that they did have a spreadsheet and he has a copy of it. So, I mean, it does seem
not
like
a surprise at all.
It does seem like, to your point, AVG, that like if you get to the point, and Rob Noor and I talk about this sometimes, because jury nullification is it's not it's part of the system on purpose. It has a role within our system of government, but it is a worry when you start thinking like you couldn't get a conviction in a blue city. So I think this will be an interesting test case. Like, because in my experience, if the lawyers do their jobs and you get rid of the crazy jurors and you have a decent jury and the judge instructs people on the law, by and large they follow it. But if this case gets nullified, that's going to be a very interesting data point.
Well, we've already seen this crap happening. There are people. The guy who towed the ICE cars in Los Angeles, he got nullified. Mm-hmm. The guy in Seattle who was an illegal who started attacking ICE agents got nullified. We've seen a lot of nullifications. The case of and I will say Janine Pirro and them were a little retarded getting that guy for felony violence for throwing the sandwich. But you know what? If I walk down here in Florida and start throwing shit at a cop, I expect to get arrested. There's a lot. We've already seen a bunch of jury nullification already, a ton of it. So we're getting to that point what's called without the rule of law, and we're getting there fast.
Well, but I think the sandwich case in this one is like an interesting contrast because, like, yes, technically throwing a sandwich at an officer is an assault. Yeah. Like, under the law, that is an assault. But that's actually the scenario where I would expect some jury nullification, right? Like, it's like, yeah.
I wouldn't because if this guy was some chud doing it, they would have, put him in jail and one of them raped to death.
Oh, well,
that same jury would have.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, Sean. I'm just saying that, like, when you call throwing a sandwich an assault, like
it is though.
I agree, it is. But like, you're going to get some jurors who are like, "Come on, why are you doing this?" Whereas here, you have like this detailed conspiracy with all this evidence and multiple witnesses. I feel like nullifying the sandwich throwing case and nullifying like months and months of federal investigation and multiple witnesses, tap cell phones, signal jack records, the spreadsheet, all the nullifying this kind of case is very different from nullifying that kind of case.
It's all ideological. No, because it's all been ideological. Guy in LA got acquitted by a jury who didn't like ICE. Guy in Seattle got acquitted by a jury who didn't like the heckin' ICE and going after the heckin' Immigranos. Like, no, this is we're at the ideological stage. I mean, this is where it all depends on where you do it. Like, I mean, there's a reason why that jury in Texas, burned, like all those Antifa people got smoked when they went to trial for their little terrorist attack they did at the where they shot at the cop and almost killed him. Their lawyers came in there and tried to do the song and dance and the activist stuff, and they all got convicted. Here it's going to be a little different.
Yeah, I hope so, because it's like with the OJ and we got the jurors.
Well, I'm saying Minnesota's different. It's full of commies.
Well, yeah, but part of that's going to be the skillfulness of the lawyers, and I'm hoping it turns out differently because the reason with the OJ thing,
I can always
admitted that she nullified. The reason that was so upsetting is it's like it's a fucking murder. It's a murder. It's when you nullify a crime of that nature, it's a much bigger deal.
I understand, Ryan, but I also understand from their standpoint, they just watched a black guy get the shit beat out of him and nothing happened to anybody. Well, you know what? If the community wants, this is jury nullification. And it's the idea that, we want you to do certain things. And if you won't do what we want, we'll force you to do what we want. Like the community, you get this as a officer of the court in the state of Ohio, licensed in the state of Ohio, and at some point hoping to be an officer of the court in the great state of Florida. I cannot condone or encourage people to commit jury nullification. I can merely speak to the philosophy behind it. But you are the one part of the world where you get to set governmental policy as a 12-person group. You could say, we want this or we don't want this. And you could state for a reason that you want to, that we think this is justice. And you know what? OJ may have turned his wife into a Pez dispenser. You know what? Oh well. The way you've treated us, we're going to strike back. You may not like that, but that's what happens. And, to be like, you can't treat a bunch of people like shit and then go, oh, wait, what? They don't want to tolerate us governing them. And that's just what you're going to see here. You're going to get a bunch of these commies. I mean, it's, this place elected Tim Walz. It elects Ilhan Omar. It elects all these goobers. I mean, the idea you're going to find me out there is probably not going to happen.
Well, it bears watching, and I'm gonna maintain optimism, but we'll see what happens.
Yes, on the bright side, Judge Dugan is getting sentenced on July 8th. So
yeah, this will be a big one. And if you want to see me take the to argue about why jury nullification is actually a good thing in our system, though it might piss me off in this case, I have a debate on my channel about judges and juries that I did recently. So go watch that. Yeah. But okay, I did promise the chatters that we would eventually look at their messages, and we got to keep that promise because that's how the grift keeps going.
We do.
So,
I've heard too.
So Brazufso, 10 memberships.
For 10 subs. I can't do the Clyde thing here tonight, but thank you.
Yeah, well done. Thank you, my friend.
Here, buddy.
Big support for Sean's channel. Yeah, Sean doesn't have all his emotes because it's my stream, so he can't do all his fun bells and whistles. Take that, Sean, and your goddamn dirty, filthy
can't see
chatters.
My dog, yeah.
World Radio sends Sean $5. Splash in the pot. LFG, AVG, and Ryan. I mean, come on. You can't beat this collab.
Yes.
World Radio gave 5 memberships to AVG. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Big supporter of the today's show and also the organizer of tonight's stream. So well done, sir. Thank you so much. $5 to you, Sean. Welcome to Dixie. Please be a copperhead and not a carpetbagger.
I am not coming to carpetbag, I promise.
All right. $2 from Rad Kong Hazard. Watch for the wrath of the Canadian carrier rake.
Fair.
I've been warned.
It's fair.
OSINT Commando with the $5. New sub to AVG, so I can't say I know how we align.
I hope to confirm that we do. Thank you for your support.
Yeah. Big supporter of my stream, so I'm happy to share the wealth. Jefferson C. Post in $2. I'm not sure whose stream this is because with both of you here, I can't always tell.
Not mine. It's got to be
Plotnovit.
What's on mine? Yeah, Plotnikov.
Plotnikov. That doesn't sound communist at all.
No, it doesn't.
No. It's ambiguous.
Plotnikov, comrade.
Plotnikov.
Plotnikov.
Mario Cerami. Conspiracy. This is on Sean's side.
Yes,
Conspiracy.
16 months. Yeah.
16 months. Well done, buddy. Because imagine spending a year and a half of your life watching Sean.
I know. It still confuses me myself.
Yeah.
Wild ride.
Conspiracy doesn't mean any of these people actually did any of that. Just agreed it should be done.
That's true.
Well, and they certainly did. They certainly spent a lot of time talking and taking detailed notes, like the good bureaucrats they are.
Yes.
Yeah. Jefferson
They're good at their records.
$2. Imagine a Fed bullhorn calling out rioters' names. I like the idea. Kind of fun. Plotnikov, we see you out there. Dagon nachos? State lines. Chat. Member on your side, Sean, for 24
Yeah, Johan. Yes, Johan Naxos. Yes. State loins. Yes, just like Kyle Rittenhouse, they cross state lines. Inexcusable.
Can't do that. Jefferson C. Post with $2 on my side. The left changes names as often as definitions. Hey,
that's very true.
What's a peaceful protest? What's systemic racism? What's violence? These are all just words.
Fascism?
Yeah, what's
Nobody knows
fascism?
anymore.
No one knows. It's just a word.
Yeah.
Jefferson C. Post with the 2. Diversity is our strength meant Fed inclusive. Yeah, they had to include some feds in their meetings. That's diversity. J6 2.0 with the $5. I'm surprised there isn't more financial charges, no embezzlement. They didn't really seem to do anything with the financial aspect, like the fundraising and whatnot. I wonder if they're gonna.
Well, there's no embezzlement because they all know what their money's going towards.
Yeah.
That's true. You can't be fraud if you like. Let's buy shields. And they're like, okay, we bought shields.
I'm sorry, I defriended your Black Panther Party meeting. It's like, no, we wanted you to kill Whitey. Oh, okay.
So Jefferson with the 2, he'd like to know if there's a motion to suppress Trump spurging. Do you think that's a motion we could file?
There better not be. I love him when he spurgs.
Yeah, well, I know, but I don't want him interfering and making this worse. Although the other problem is, depending on how this trial goes, if it goes past 2028, if J.D. Vance doesn't get the dub, all it takes is, whoever they got. I can't even think of who they're going to have as a front runner now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, although it just takes that, President Gavin going, Dunsky.
Oh, yeah, well, for sure, because they got the J6 pardons as precedent now, so they're for sure going to pardon everyone.
There's a lot of pardons of a lot of things, so yeah,
that's why
we need to keep. That's why we need to keep winning. We need to keep people in prison.
That's something that they said. They said this is ridiculous that the same administration who would allow the J6ers out would do this to the innocent people of Minnesota, the daycare workers, the grandmas, and the.
This is a Brian Shapiro impression. It sounds like
it's gotta be
34 count felon.
No. Rob.
Have you had to deal with him?
Show me your tweet.
Have you had to deal with Brian yet?
So I'm mod for Andrew, and I also know Rob. I've seen the debates like at length.
Oh, I didn't know you modded for
really?
Andrew. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Crucible Crew, show up. AVG mods for Andrew.
I am wearing a Crucible t-shirt underneath this.
Oh, I didn't see. Oh,
that's fucking based. All right.
Yeah.
That's you should have shown that at the beginning. That's some catnip to these motherfuckers. In
I worked for Andrew Wilson, and all I got was this free t-shirt. No, I'm just kidding. I got more than that.
I worked for Andrew Wilson. He just sent me a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah. Used.
Still waiting.
Jefferson Post. Defense may try to equate these to MLK sit-ins.
They're going to try to. They're just. Just aggressive protesting is what they're going to treat it as.
Yeah. Remember when MLK stood up and said, nonviolence isn't the answer. We need more violence. Peaceful protests don't work. I hate people who say peaceful protests are effective. That's what MLK said, right?
Definitely.
Sounds like him.
Yes.
Oh, Jason with the big 20. This all blew up with the civil rights movement. MLK Jr. was a serious communist.
No lies.
Pervasive. All the queer theory, whiteness, pro-pally crap. It's all Marxist, and they are electing DSA politicians.
No lies detected.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has any notes. Jefferson C. Post, all imagining they're recreating the Paris Commune. Yeah.
Yes, they think they're recreating the Paris Commune, but it's more like Barcelona in 1937.
Sean's Sandwich Sundry, one of the great all-time handles, donated 5 average female debater memberships.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your support.
He'll open a sandwich shop near you. Canadian branch incoming. How's your poutine?
It's actually pretty good around these parts.
Yeah, gotta get the poutine going if you're gonna have a sandwich shop up north.
It's gonna compete with Boston Pizza, I guess.
Boston Pizza is pretty good. It's my dad's favorite restaurant. So,
wait, that's a real restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah, Boston Pizza.
They wanted, because it's not America. They put an American name in front. It sounds awesome.
Wait, hold
Boston.
On. Hold on. They opened a pizza place chain in Canada.
Yes.
They wanted to pick an American city.
Yes.
And they thought the appropriate city to put in front of pizza was Boston.
Yes. Well, if it's even funnier,
that's the most Canadian fucking thing I've ever heard.
Well, you want to hear something even funnier?
We just have Oklahoma burgers.
Oklahoma has great burgers. Okay. That makes sense. Boston doesn't really fucking.
If you want to hear something funnier, and I learned this from Legal Vice's Jeff, who's since passed on. He mentioned I was watching some ASMR things that eventually showed these people going camping. It was a guy in Korea, and in Korea, apparently, it's all about glamping. It's about like all having the biggest and best cool shit you can have. And he mentioned like he brought a tent, and they thought like, why are you living like a homeless person? But anyways, all their stuff, it's just American words. It doesn't even make sense. Like one of them is just like Brooklyn apparel, and it's like camping gear. It's like when I think of camping, I think of fucking Brooklyn, New York, and it's just and it's just names. You're like that makes no sense to us. But in Korea, they're like, oh, that must be important. I like this. It's American, and like camping out in the woods. And it's like,
Canada's really close to America.
Yeah, but they are literally a different people. No offense, but they are.
The military sucks, and we don't even have like gun rights.
But they're literally different people.
But y'all never heard of like Brooklyn pizza or like New Haven pizza?
Oh yeah,
those are pizza towns.
Yeah,
fucking Boston
or Detroit pizza. Yeah.
Okay, Detroit pizza. If you're serving Detroit style pizza, that's fine.
Yeah. Or Chicago.
Chicago has a style of pizza.
Crispy.
Yeah. Boston isn't a pizza town.
Yes, I know.
That's like if I was going to open a cheesesteak recipe, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm going to Canada. I'm going to open a cheesesteak chain, Tallahassee cheesesteaks."
Yeah, that's exactly or Montgomery cheesesteaks. Yes.
Who cares about Philadelphia? Like,
yeah.
All right.
When it comes to cheesesteaks,
this shit infuriates me. All right, but whatever. Jefferson C. Post with the 2. Crucible needs Sean to explain insurgent tactics.
I don't even know enough. For a fat guy with a bad back who's a lawyer, yes, I know a lot, but I don't really know that much.
Well, I'll next time I talk to Andrew, I'll throw that idea out there. We can have Sean, the insurgent lawyer. James donating 5 potentially criminal memberships.
5 subs. See, I like how they color them differently now. It makes you feel more important.
Yeah,
instead of just every time green. It's like I got a red boy.
Ooh, yeah. I think for them, like if you give, like,
and it's not in Argentine pesos.
Yeah, sometimes you get that where you get like a donation, and you're like, oh my god, 3,000, and then you're like, oh, I don't know what
that's it though. I love you, no, I know you're out there.
It's from a filthy comrade.
Jason with the 10. The Cinema Network funds CCV via Code Pay, the People's Forum, PSL, Breakthrough News, and SID4P. They mix anti-war Marxist and disruptive protest activism across major U.S. cities.
They were part of Hassan going to Cuba as well.
Really? Mm-hmm. No wonder he got subpoenaed.
They have their fingers in everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I never got a chance to debate this point with anybody on the left, but like when he got subpoenaed, and they were like, this is outrageous. I'm like, dude, it's a subpoena. The bar for issuing a subpoena is super low. He went to a communist country to support a sanctioned country. You don't think that he like in support of their government? Like
I'm surprised he didn't get subpoenaed for what he did in China. Like, he's very close. Like, does Hassan have attorneys addressing him about FARA? Because he's getting really close to that. But also, like, people like Candace Owens, they're getting, like, I could see, like, if Democrats take over, if 2028 doesn't go to the Republicans again, if I'm Tucker and Candace, I'm getting a lawyer and we're filing a fucking updated FARA thing, like, lickety fucking split.
Yeah, because
I think they're going to get hammered on that. I mean, Candace Owens going to prison, like, happy trails, bitch. But yeah, it's going to be rough for her.
Well, I mean, and Tucker seemed to be like having direct communication, or at least claiming he was, with like senior members of the Iranian government. Like, how is that happening? And then
John Bolton had that too.
Yeah, but John Bolton isn't like, having a anti-war podcast all the time. Like, like he does seem to be doing Iranian propaganda as well as having connections with the Iranian government. So yeah, he might want to get that paperwork updated. James donated $5 to
real quick.
to
Sorry,
AVG.
guys. Far as the Foreign Agents Registration Act filing. So when you start doing any work on behalf of a foreign government, and it doesn't even have to be lobbying the government directly. If you're out promoting and propagandizing for a foreign government, that can get you in trouble too. So it doesn't just have to be telling your senator how awesome they are.
Oh, so James, appreciate you supporting AVG.
Based also.
James, thank you for your support.
And James is a member, I think, of AVG's channel now.
Thank you, James. You rock.
Yeah, showing the love. Blasterbot with the 5 natural law memberships. Enjoy the wonderful emotes, the piss cry, the fleece-to-knee, and all the wonderful things we do in our channel. And since Blasterbot gave you that membership, know that one day you will be called upon to recite Dino facts with Blasterbot. That's the rules. I don't make them, I just enforce them. And on Sean's side, Shredder gifted 10 potentially criminal members. And look, it's a darker red.
Yes, a Shredder S07.
Oh, look at that. That's
if somebody's asking, yes, FARA filings are public. You could search them on the DOJ's website.
Nice. Big support there. Jason, member for 3 months on my side. The Walt subpoena just got quashed by a federal judge. Ooh, I got to look at that.
For now.
Take a look at that. Yeah, it is subpoenaing active members of the state government is a lot harder than investigating like dipshits with their signal chats and their fucking comrade meetings. So that's a much tougher target. No lies there. But I'll check that out, Jason. Jefferson C. Post, I think this is on Sean's side, teaching them to delete streams like Metacore,
Yes, just like Mr. Medicare.
Yeah, well, I did have to private one, Sean, because, and I'm not going to ask you to repeat it, but I asked you your opinion on Nick Fuentes, and I was like, oh shit, now I got to private that stream. So
what? I mean, I can't imagine I said anything that bad. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. You called him a little light in the loafers. Yeah, but anyway, Jefferson.
Oh, I called him a MiG-15. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Will Kyle have a syllogism justifying the insurgency? Yeah, I mean, I do think that all good leftists need a good syllogism. So I'm sure Pisco has a good syllogism for this, and we can share it around and have a good laugh.
Not Pisco. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think I might have. I think I might have really, really upset him in the last debate. He's still coping about it.
Isn't he? Has he graduated? He's graduated from law school, but is he licensed?
Yes. Well, I don't want.
Yeah, he does. He does real attorney work.
I don't want to give his personal information, but yeah, he
obviously
graduated from law school. I don't.
Yeah, no,
he's. I don't know if he's practicing on his own right now. I don't think he's firm affiliated right now. But
yeah. Well, even if he did,
he is a real lawyer.
Yeah.
Just like me.
Gotta say, the beautiful thing about these indictments is with Trump hands and gotta do I can't do that.
The beautiful thing about these indictments. Okay. Huge. Bigger than China.
We gotta play Never Come Down for 10 hours.
So bad. It's so bad.
Well, it's better than mine. I'm glad you did it. I wasn't going to
Never
try.
come down.
That's not my gift. James, member for 3 months. I didn't think the gas mask seal well with beards. Sean, can you
Set the trim in a nice way? Yeah, right now it wouldn't, but you can trim it up and work. Other nations have figured it out.
All right, so we can tell how serious Sean is if he starts having a gas mask trim on his beard.
Right. Close to shirt to see that.
James, member for 4 months. How did you get 2 messages in a row? Is that have you just been not have I just not seen you for a month?
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the support and the double message. LARPing the John Brown raid on Harper's Ferry.
Yeah, it really pisses them off when you point out that Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson were the ones in charge of hanging John Brown. So.
World Radio with the 5. Congrats on the indictment, Antifa. Your mostly peaceful riot just earned you a mostly orange jumpsuit. Yep.
I think for these people, some of them might panic, but some of them probably see themselves as taking one for the cause.
Yeah, I think there's some true believers out there. World Radio on Sean's side. These Antifa members got indicted for stalking ICE agents. Guess direct action now comes with a side of federal tracking. Yeah, I mean the stalking one's an interesting twist on this whole thing, because they definitely were, in any colloquial sense, stalking. Offie Murr, Tommy Bahama, fine selection of big and tall, 5XL. That's a fine recommendation, Sean. I expect we'll see some Tommy Bahama, some colorful shirts in the future.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I mean, the membership dues have to go to something.
Yes.
Living in Stug's walls temporarily, Sean wins most aptly named channel.
Yes, thank you.
I think I know exactly what was happening in our dialogue when he posted that. EDW Raptor with the 5. Sean is actually skinny and really fit. He wears a big suit to throw us off, so no one ever suspects him.
Is that also a wig and a fake beard? Are you like in disguise right now, Sean?
Yes, exactly. Yep, that's all. You guys have found me out. So.
It's his alibi. Sean is actually Kennedy from Signal Chat, but he uses this as an alibi. He's like, I'm going to be a based anti-communist lawyer, and then at night he like takes off the suit and goes and does some commie shit.
That's why he's so vocal about his hatred of communists.
Yes, it's just like they say, if you hate them so much, you must want to have sex with them. It's like, yeah, that's right. So afraid to you hate gay people, you want to fuck them. It's like, that's right. I want to fuck all the communists out there.
Pretty sure that's the recipe.
And it's just like Shawshank. It's not about love. It's about power.
That's a recipe for venereal disease or several.
That's it. Destiny's going to be like, oh boy. I'm like, wait, you're not supposed to enjoy this. He's like, you don't get to tell me what I enjoy.
I don't want to think about where Destiny has stuck his dong.
Well, I'm pitching, not catching.
Jesus, Louises.
I'm not Nick Fuentes.
Somebody please clip part of this so that I can have some media assets of this. Of Sean, just the part of Sean saying he wants to fuck all the communists. I think that really should be an asset for the stream. So we'll have to do
just like Sam Hyde. It's like in Minecraft. No, in real life.
This user is 404, member for 5 months. First, I don't think you were first. I'm not going to lie, but I appreciate the support. I think that's on your side, Sean.
Okay. Well,
or on your side, AG. I actually can't tell, but.
I don't think it's mine. I haven't had a channel for 5 months. That's been membership based.
So that's your side, Sean, and they're definitely not first. EDW Raptor with the 5 on Sean's side. Make your stream members only. Have you learned nothing? Always assume your communications will be intercepted. Sounds accurate. James 6656 with $2 on Sean's side. Funny watching Ryan turn into El Quadillo. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is this?
Well,
Is this a potentially criminal?
Like you're turning into El Presidente, like you're turning into the chief.
Got it. Objective Gestalt with the 5. I'm not sure whose side this is on.
Mm-hmm.
Credit where it's due. Righties could stand to take a leaf from lefties' book when it comes to organizing.
Yeah. They're up there hanging out and they do the food drives, they do the community stuff. They build the network of people in their community, of people they can know and trust and do all that stuff. People on the right say, oh, that's all gay shit. I don't want to go do that. I just want to go to the range. Okay, well, there's a lot more to, like, civilization collapses tomorrow and how do you develop a network? You can't. So, they do a lot of things right. They do the actual hard stuff.
Yeah. Get your shit together, righties.
Yeah.
McCarthy, Dr. Nick, Sean's member for 28 months. McCarthy did nothing wrong. Comment, Sean?
Oh, Ryan, also, I guess I didn't realize, yes, they were also trying to claim that, yes, El Cadillo was Franco's nickname back in the day.
I see.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Somebody had to remind me. McCarthy did nothing wrong. I mean, except for being a degenerate alcoholic. But yes, other than that, no. He hadn't done anything else wrong.
Yeah, I saw a great line recently. Is in I did a segment with Wilford Riley that we were talking about earlier, and in his book about the Red Scare, one of his funny lines is that, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, you've probably heard that McCarthy didn't uncover any communists, but that was probably taught to you by a communist. So there's an irony there, right?
Yep. No, very true.
Yeah. World Radio, sponsor of tonight's stream. What fucking tard ed Antifa? Oh God, you really have to struggle to get this through the YouTube censor, huh? Militia groups send heart and love emojis to armoring up. They're so hard fighting the imaginary Gestapo. Wow, you really figured out how to work through the system. But yeah, the heart emojis were a nice touch in the indictment. I thought that was classy.
Yes.
Jason tells me to watch a Cam Higby stream where he covers ICE protests and educate yourself. I like that you could have written yourself. I'm pretty sure you had space for the hyphen and 2 exclamation points, but yourself better articulated the point. I probably should watch some Cam Higby stuff. I haven't really done that. Ukale, member for 4 months. Great seeing you on Stitch and Adam, Coach. Hey man, I really enjoy those guys. That's a fun stream. They're the enlightened centrists of this corner of YouTube. So always pleasure chatting with those guys.
You did a good job with them. I loved when you explained the Carmelo Anthony thing. Like, in a surprise to nobody, he got convicted.
I mean, I've been trying to say to people, I'm like, I try to put it like self-defense cases on a scale now of Carmelo Anthony to Kyle Rittenhouse, where it's like, if you are just familiar with the facts and the law, Kyle Rittenhouse obviously is innocent and Carmelo Anthony is obviously guilty. And if you think it's more complicated than that, you're just wrong. Like, he had no argument for self-defense. It was a joke.
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah. Chud, I could see that one going either way. That's tricky.
Well,
I don't know the facts yet.
I don't either, but that's easily one I could see where he gets convicted because nobody fucking likes him. And having a client that nobody likes is a very dangerous position.
Well, I hope for his sake that he is smart enough to know that he needs to be, anytime he gets donations or any money comes his way to support him, that's all lawyer money. Like, don't use it for other stuff. Don't hire PR people.
His bond got revoked in the meantime.
Yeah, but that was in the other case, right? That was in the
and I think is unconstitutional, but I don't see any courts overturning it anytime soon.
Yeah, well, because he had
when you're the guy who keeps on screaming the N-word all the time, you're not going to look very popular. Like, nobody. It's kind of like the parents up in Michigan who got convicted of their son. They gave him a gun and he went and played duck hunt the next day at school.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it is righteous, no judge is getting they like staying elected, so they're not going to let those people go free.
Yeah,
this judge is not going to be the one to see this. I modified the guy's bond so the guy who screams the N-word at everybody could get out. It's like, that doesn't look good.
Well, yeah, and also, I mean, judges have such wide discretion on bond. Like, I mean, you can try to challenge it, but that's a losing battle most of the time.
Yeah, And Mountain Reggie says the Crumblies didn't give their kid. They went and he bought him one. Okay, yes, and the whole thing where the kid was like losing his mind and shit. Like, it's easier to paraphrase because if I say the Crumblies, these two probably don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we don't have your deep lore, Sean.
Yeah.
Blasterbot with the 10. As someone from Minnesota, if they I didn't realize you were from Minnesota, Blasterbot. If they draw from the Twin Cities, it will absolutely be partisan call based on Orange Man bad. If they can draw from the rural areas, it might be different. Interesting.
Maybe.
Now, this is in...
There's only one district in Minnesota.
That's what I was about to check. That's interesting.
But there's a couple of courthouses, but it's all this stuff happened in St. Paul, so in Minneapolis. So
they have venue issues if they're trying to get outside the city.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but...
Interesting. Interesting. Blasterbot, I was... for Father's Day, I was smoking some meat and having some drinks in the backyard and thinking of you, buddy. That's Blasterbot is famously just wishes politics would leave him alone so he could smoke some ribs and hang out and drink bourbon. VTubing enthusiast with the 5. Sean is upset about the sandwich case being thrown out because he doesn't want to see a good sandwich go to waste. Tasty sandwiches matter.
That too.
That's on your side, Sean. Just to let you know, it's not my chatters doing this. This is the hell you built for yourself, Sean. That's your own chatter.
I know.
Taylor TC with the 5. Don't underestimate the power of commies to further their utopia one bloody step at a time. If a crime isn't for ideological reasons, there is no limit.
That's very true.
That is commie 101. Barton Bella. This is on Sean's side.
Yes.
Cult of Clyde, Cult of Clyde, Cult of Clyde. Laney, Doggos, Bon.
Yes.
Can we see a Clyde, Sean?
I don't know. I think Clyde's sleeping right now.
Don't wake up a dog.
Hi, come here, buddy. Yeah, I don't think he's coming. He's sleeping, probably.
Clyde's very cute. I'm not sure whose side this is on, but Taylor became a member of somebody's chat. I don't know if that's Sean or you, AVG, but thank you for the support, Taylor. All right. J-Rock Log is a challenge to Sean. Sean, who is AVG? And don't say single mom. Go.
I other than saying she is a mod for Andrew Wilson, she is I believe you said paralegal up in Canada and one of the provinces of Canada. I'm assuming probably closer to Ontario because she doesn't sound like she is out in like British Columbia. And she seems pretty based. That's what I know about her right now. So there you go, J-Rock.
What did he miss, AVG?
Sorry?
What did he miss? Fill in the bio.
I'm an online debater. I'm not a single mom. Actually, don't have any children. So I don't have any.
I'm sorry, my chat can be assholes. So
disgruntled exes or anything like that. I don't have any of those knocking around these parts. Thank the good Lord.
Well, and because she's in Canada after tonight's stream, she's soon to be average prison enjoyer. So enjoy.
Do you know who Jean-Francois Garapi is? If you live in Canada, do you know? Are you familiar with that name?
John what?
AF Jean-Francois.
No, Jean-Francois. Is he like a member of the Bloc Québécois or?
No, never mind. Then you don't.
Okay.
He's a French Canadian YouTuber who likely murdered his wife and has gotten away with it.
Jeez, sounds like a member of the Bloc.
Yeah.
Objective Gestalt with the 5 to AVG. Despite everything, I have deep affection for Canada. Hope y'all can un-F yourselves someday.
Me too. I voted for Polyev, but not everybody's on that campaign train apparently. So,
in fairness, Polyev was gonna win, and then Trump unnecessarily the way he intruded in Canadian politics was not helpful. Let's just Polyev was doing really, really well. He was doing so well.
I mean, I think that just shows how fragile. All it takes is somebody to say, hey, Canada, I'll say, Canada, you're being a bunch of F slurs because I know you don't want to take this down, Ryan. And all it took was all the, not you, AVG, but all the Canadians to go, and they're like, we'll pretend about that, and it's like, that's all it takes. We have to own the Orange Man now. It's just govern your own fucking country, people. And now there's video of at the G7 where Carney's like, please, Mr. Trump, can you help us out, please? And it's like there's some comments where the mics were up, but Trump's was on, and it's like we can hear the whole conversation, and I'm like, I guess all that tough talk went away.
It was pretty sad to watch, and that's the most I can say about it for fear of being thrown in commie jail.
I'm just saying, like, couldn't Trump have not tariffed them during an election cycle?
Know.
Like, I mean, it's
we're not affected by you, but we're going to show you how we're not affected by you, completely tanking our elections because of you. It's like, just, I mean, like, we're not your vassal state, says somebody who's totally becoming a vassal state.
They're reorganizing their economy.
I'm not turning into corn, says the man turning into corn.
I just want us to force more money into our military, be more proud of our heritage, stop just handing wins to liberal government without any kind of rationale behind it other than like status quo, and we don't want taxes to increase. I just want us to like do something different for once. Like Justin Trudeau is out here friggin', frolicking on a beach at Coachella with Katy Perry. Like, we saw how well that went. Look at how many terms we gave that fucker, right? What the heck was with that? Sorry, my Canadian accent comes out a bit when I get...
That is a beautiful lesbian couple, and I would expect you to be more supportive.
But counterpoint
during June, right? What the heck is wrong with me?
Counterpoint, his dad was a very famous man. I mean, do you guys up in Canada think he's Fidel's son or no?
Counterpoint's like Connor?
No. Counterpoint. Trudeau. That Justin Trudeau is Fidel's son.
No.
Oh.
I mean, I can kind of see it because, like...
but AVG, blink twice if you're saying no, but you have to say that because the Mounties will arrest you.
Yes.
That was a wink, not a blink. That was a wink.
Let the record show that was a wink.
Not a blink.
Taylor with the 5 on Sean's side. Keep handing out red pills, Sean. I see Ryan having his eyes open more and more to the tinder box that the 2-tier justice system is creating.
Well,
I gotta say, some of that Sean's doing, and the other part of that is that, like, I spend a lot of time debating lefties, and then they actually tell me what they think. And very little has moved me further right than letting lefties explain what they actually believe. Yeah, because they'll tell you, go watch the clip of me and Dev where Wick just asks him, like, do you think political violence is justified right now?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, how much do you value your channel, Wick? Was his answer.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that's a yes.
Yeah. Well, and I keep showing this, like, I've shown this picture a bunch of times on my channel, and it's a picture from the Balkans, and it shows some Serb guys like standing there with cigarettes and AKs over a couple of Bosnians laying on the ground, holes in their heads. And everybody thinks they're going to be that guy standing there smoking a cigarette, kicking the dead body. And it's like, no, if things really do kick off, the odds are you're going to be the guy laying on the ground. Like, the idea you want all of this, and you really think you want all of this, is absolutely insane. Like, I love all this. I love the fact I can get my phone right now and order a cheeseburger if I wanted one. Like, I love all those things. I love the fact that I get to sit here and paint fucking model tanks for fun. By the way, if you're new, chat, Sean's Model Bench is what I do. It's one of my free time things. Like, I do that stuff for fun. I do this for fun. Like, just the idea of doing all these things. Like, why would you want to give this all up?
Yeah, for what?
It's these people advocating for, Dev doing, like, wanting to do all that crap. Motherfucker be sitting in his, like, you're not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. I know I won't make it. Like, I'll be a loot drop for somebody probably, but you're definitely not making it. You're not showing up after the communist takeover and be like, hello, fellow comrades, I would like to run this, collectivist farm. Nope, you're up against the wall. Like, nope, you're in the ditch. It's like, nope, go mine the potassium until you die. Like, it doesn't work this way. So the idea you want all this crap is just fucking insane. Like, you don't, like, ignorant little fucking children, you don't really know what you want.
Yeah, it gets dark.
Also, people in chat are like, yes, a lot of people are like, oh, cheeseburger didn't sound bad right now. It's like, that's not the point.
The cheeseburger's not the point.
We're still doing the Apostles' fast for me in Orthodoxy. I can only have fish.
Oh, really?
So I bet that cheeseburger sounds real good.
Yeah,
it does. It sounds really good.
VTubing enthusiasts. Let's not put you into some kind of blasphemous position here.
Yes, let's not do that.
VTubing enthusiasts on Sean's side.
Yes.
Ryan AVG, tell Sean to crack that whip on getting those plushies made. I want a Sean and Clyde plushie to add to my collection. They need to hang out with all the other VTuber ones I have. Hashtag eBoy plushies matter. So Sean, plushies win.
I need to go annoy the Chinese people that were talking to me about making one before. So I'll work on that.
Okay.
Sounds like some communist plushies, Sean.
I don't know. These ones, I don't know whether they're working, and I don't know if it's going to be full of formaldehyde or not. So
I don't think
CC plushies. It works perfectly. CCP.
Out of the tangent, I'm any concerned.
I'm pretty sure VTubing enthusiasts would consider being full of formaldehyde a plus. That would be like a bonus. Living in Suggs Walls temporarily with the $2. Wichita Fish and Chips coming 2027. I don't know what that
I
means.
like a good fish and chips.
I could do some fish and chips right now. I always get hungry after stream, but then I don't want to eat because I have to go to sleep, and that's a whole bad scene for me. Tejas Libre with the 5. Hassan, I think it's on your side, Sean. Hassan goes to Cuba, and Cuba officially abandons communism less than 3 months later.
I think that is hilarious. They're doing some reforms now.
Yeah, the memes write themselves.
Yes.
Jim Cox, member for 28 months on Sean's sides, just got here. Start over? Sean, AVG, you want to start over?
Yes, let's start now. I got time.
We skipped like 75.
I don't have work tomorrow, so yes.
Let's do it for another 4 hours, right? I think that's how long it would probably take.
Yeah. We've only gone for 4 hours. We could do another 4. We could do another 4.
Go all night chat.
World Radio with the 5. After seeing these indictments, a lot of somebody's getting fucked. As it turns out, it was a masturbation because they screwed themselves. All right, nice, well played.
That's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, I'm always trying to figure out like, why did they write it that way? Then I'm like, oh yeah, YouTube chat. VTubing enthusiast on Sean's side. This was a fun and informative stream. Can we see more 3-person collab streams with the 3 of you in the future for other cases? I would be down.
I'm down. Sure.
All right. And I mean, Sean's, he's a kept man these days. So, we monopolize Sean's time. Bob Tube with the 2. AVG could be the new Mama JF.
No, you don't want that to happen to her.
Who's that?
So Mama JF, so Jean-Francois, I just sent you a private chat, by the way, AVG. There's a channel that covers Canadian politics you might be interested in. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. But so Jean-Francois Gaudrepi, he's like a crazy man. He was like on the far right back like when it was like a real far right. The guy has affiliations with Jeffrey Epstein, like he's in the Epstein files. Like he was involved in getting funding from Jeffrey Epstein. Like he's crazy. He's insane. He's a neuroscientist though. He's well educated. And he had this thing about dating and then eventually marrying mentally retarded women. And he wanted, about just, spreading his seed far and wide. And
the tards.
Well,
they're crazy.
I don't.
Look,
it wasn't genetically passed
quantity,
on.
Not quality, right?
Well, it wasn't genetically passed on, from what I understand. This type of tardation. She was just slow. Okay. And he had her on stream before, and there were times where she's like, "Oh my God, he can't help me. He wants to get," and he'd be like, "Oh, she's she says this. She says the funniest things. Do not worry about Mama JF." And then eventually one day he's like, "Yeah, Mama JF's gone." She wanted me to I took her to the truck stop, and she walked off into the woods. Oh, and by the way, I've redone my entire house. I renovated it, stripped it all the way down to the studs. So she's known as the potato, and the potato got mashed.
So I only have one question then for Bob Tube, if I may. Why do you hate me? Why? You just met me? What is wrong with you? All right, that's it. That's all I have to say on that.
Yeah, you'd be way too smart to be the next Mama JF.
I'm honestly more concerned about the fact that no matter what deep dark corner of the internet chat references, Sean's got it locked and loaded. It's like, oh yeah, Mama JF. Like
it's the sector. And Andrew Wilson mentioned this to you one time, I think, where he said something about there's part I think he mentioned to you or somebody who's like, you think Twitch Paul is like, you think you're the baddest bitch on the block. There are far worse places on the internet. And he's like, let me tell you. And he had some experience in the sector a little bit back in the day, but yeah. It was more about somebody he was talking to. It's like, oh, I'm big and bad. I've been on Twitch politics. He's like, you don't know the half of it, man.
Yeah, it's pretty dark. And there's all kinds of other chats too. Like, where that the guy, what is it? Gypsy Crusader and whatnot, where they go to those, like, they'll just go in between phone calls and whatnot. And
that shit's hilarious, Gypsy Crusader. His fight was awesome too.
It was.
We watched that over on Locals.
And the last one, gang, we did it. $5 on Sean's side from EDW Raptor. We will get Sean plushies as soon as we get Ricado's 5K Locals gift.
You're really throwing down the gauntlet. No, they will get delivered. But nobody's paid for them either, so that's a little different.
Yeah, no shots fired. Sean guarantees the plushies by next week, right, Sean?
Oh, yeah, next week.
Sounds
yes.
legally
2 more weeks. 2 more weeks.
Verbal contract.
Yeah. Gang, it has been an absolute delight, a wonderful, casual 4-hour stream with these great legal minds tonight. AVG, can you remind people where they can find you and what you do on your channel so they can go subscribe to you and have fun viewing your amazing content?
For sure. Thanks so much for having me, Ryan. Sean, pleasure meeting you. My channel is capital A, capital V, capital G, and then just female debater, all in lowercase. I do debates on social issues. I've recently done a eugenics debate, a Narcan debate, a community dependency debate. I have one coming up with respect to secular marriage being a bad deal for men. That's on Friday. And I also have one saying that Kanye West is not the Michael Jackson of our time for more reasons than you might think. Wink, wink. That's also on Friday. So follow me for that. And hope to see all of you there.
Sounds great. And Sean, this is the rare occasion where I'm hosting you rather than the other way around. Though, so even though more people are watching you than me, tell people where to find you, Sean. On the off chance they don't know.
Find me a Potentially Criminal here on YouTube or LawTube Sean over on Twitter. We got some stuff we're getting into. God, what was the thing? Oh, we're going to cover we're going to get into Candace Owens' lawsuit against, Charlie Kirk's bodyguard, Brian Harpole, suing Candace Owens and the goober that was trying to tell her all the information about Charlie Kirk's death being a setup and everything that's going on with that. We're also going to talk about there are some YouTubers that are suing a guy over DMCA strikes that he admitted were false. And it's just, it's if you guys are out there, it's Shuley suing Stuttering John. And it's just mainly, this is like a battle that's being waged without any clear objective. Like, yes, I get the point. These guys hate each other and you could file a lawsuit to screw the guy. But even if you win, what do you win? And merely just going to war to win doesn't mean anything. What objectives are you trying to further? And there's no real objectives here. Like, the guy's broke. You're never going to get any money. You can't enjoin him for following DMCA strikes again going forward. So I don't necessarily see the whole thing. I've only read part of it. I don't want to read all of it yet. But we'll probably be doing that Wednesday night.
Yeah, I hope lawyers.
And then we're going over to Locals here afterwards. So
yeah, I hope lawyers are not taking those cases on contingency. Like, if you're getting hired to do a case like that, have them pay.
No, they're not. They had to raise money to pay for this. So
yeah. I am going to be a little bit quiet this week. I have a few I have some evening plans over the next couple of days that I cannot move, but we'll be back in the saddle. I know, and occasionally I like work and have things I need to do. I'm joining local government, so I'm going to be going. So I'm going to be doing that also this week. But we'll be back in the saddle over the weekend, and we'll be announcing some more content coming up. If you have not joined the Discord, please do so. If you're not a member, become a member, because there's a membership secret chat in the Discord only for members, and I'm increasingly putting my VODs on members only for reasons that I hope are obvious. But in any event, gang, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you both for stopping by. And yeah, by popular demand, let's do it again sometime. And I'll send you out with this $2 from living in Stug's Walls temporarily. check plushies for wires. Good advice. Good advice. All right, gang. I will talk with all of you soon. Have a great night.
See you, Ryan. See you, Sean. Have a good one.
Bye.